Good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon, worldwide. We are the Titans.
Oh,
You know, I said, brother, but we're there, you know, we keep it real and honest. We don't flip flop like some people, you know, we don't do that. We keep
exactly.
it on, you know, yes. Because we see the country going back with you. Brother, tonight we want to feature something with Andrew Holness. Yeah, because when you look on the title, you know, it tell you, say, you know, Andrew Holness, he's the master for rebranding his failures. 100% in the people. He rebrand all them failures and we want to play them away and show them. These are the things where you have to identify and show the people them tonight. You understand, brother?
Yes.
Because when I do know him, I put things for the people them, you know. And then that him did promise them, you know, brother.
Mm-hmm.
When you forgot him promise and the 100 days and the one of them things, it come like you can't out of one head. So tonight you want to bring it back. I want to bring back a 5 in 4 because when him come with the rod, I know, you know. And I go like the opposition are fighting. Nobody not fighting him. And it's garbage. No to worry about it, Byron.
Yes.
You understand? Not to worry about it. This guy never a clue for run that country. So when me play back when saying, brother, you know, this, I want everybody to start playing upon him every day. After 10 years, he might tell about the physical discipline. And if the people then they feel the physical discipline alone can't fix country. Now, I'm going to figure out now how to figure out. If they tell me 8, 9, 10 years ago, say, I am alone can't go to the country.
Mm-hmm.
Great. We have it. Yeah? You have to hold him to him words.
Oh, of course.
You have to. So no care what I say to me right now, Byron, it don't make no sense to me, you know. You see me, I say, brother?
Of course, you're right.
Word, man. So we're going to deal with him tonight.
Yeah.
Brother? Yes, sir.
Yeah, because you mentioned something which is very important in terms of we have to reiterate that to the people. You understand? And I love how you put it when you said Andrew Holness, right? Rebranding is failure. Now, we can show them perfect example of what you said in terms of bringing context to it.
Yes.
Because remember that we have job creation and economic growth.
Yes.
Right? Now, he had done that and he had failed miserably.
Yes.
But before we get to job creation and economic growth, right? Remember that he came in with 5 in 4.
Yes.
Right? Growing the economy by 5% in 4 years.
Yes.
Now, that failed.
Yes.
Now, as a speak definitively,
yes.
that you understand the rebranding strategy of his failure. You understand? He also brought ideas into job creation and economic.
Job creation, yes.
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 No, not only that. It failed again. He rebranded to Nara. Yes. You know what I'm Wayne?
Yes.
The rebranding and rebranding and rebranding. And let me say this, right? Is that it's only a fool continue to be doing the same thing and expect different result, right? And that's what we are talking about as it relates to what you said, that Andrew Holness is rebranding his failure. But we are going to look on it. Make we speak of this.
Yeah.
There is not one project, any of the project that you remember, where the Prime Minister Andrew Holness has been successful.
No, sir.
Honestly, not one project. And you know, say, I say to myself, say, weird, I say, hold on there. Here is Andrew Holness that try to come now with Nara situation and where, blah, blah, blah. But people, are we not noticing that none of Andrew Holness' plan, you understand, whether to reform the Constitution, right, in fear, several attempts of raping the Constitution as it relates to needs and all of them things that we can remember, you understand, Mark Golin holding him to court and beat him, right? So this man is the only thing, to be honest, you know, Wayne, what Andrew Holness really successful on, you know, is thievery, you know, corruption, you know.
Not alone, brother, yes.
No, and people might believe, say, well, all right, you are no mystic just a joke. I don't know joke me I make.
No.
It is out there. I am 100% serious that the only thing that Andrew Holness really successful on, you understand, is the high level of thieving and weary of a portion of the criminal justice system, including PSOJ,
Yes.
right? And certain vital institution, you understand, definitely backing his arms house, right? Because they are getting benefit, they are getting the fish egg. But obviously, he failed on everything. All right, the 100-day promise.
But update.
Hold on.
Update you're talking.
Let me take it down. Because I make people understand what you are saying.
Right. So we are started tonight, people. You better look it as in say, update. I'll look on this. And then we're going to ask for him.
Yes. Yeah, sure. He's a fair.
Within our first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to fix the date for general elections in Jamaica. So no government will be able to come and make false promises and hide the truth and tell you half-truths and trick you into voting for them. And then when them win, them throw on poison for you.
Well, you have to answer this now because the man, I didn't really looking at all these things. You have to answer that. Yes.
Wonderful way. I love how you just find it right then and there because it just it seems like you just have it for the type the third table. You understand? I love that. No, but watch this. Fixed election date that he had promised. Let us ask Jamaica. Have you seen that manifested? As a matter of fact, he is now going back on his word because he doesn't want fixed election date. You know, he wants to be a dictator. He wants to be a dictator. We see several efforts of trying to trick the opposition in terms of trying to draft things, certain little things in the constitution to make him becomes the ultimate leader. And this is again why Jamaica, and you know it, when we look on it, you know, believe you me, I think that, to be honest, I think many Jamaicans, if they really recognize and acknowledge what had taken place as it relates to the Constitution, the reconstruction of the Constitution, and what Mark Golden and others had identified and saved Jamaica from a dictatorship, right? Jamaica don't understand, so them owe Mark Golden a lot. To be honest, no, I'm not joking.
No, that's true, 100.
Right?
Yes.
In terms of find out what we found out, and where the man is trying to change even the amount of numbers in the Senate and all of that, where when you look at it, it simply means that Andrew Holness would have hold on to power and there is no chance for the opposition to get into power. And so then when I talk about the fixed election date, he's the one who came out, right, as it relates to promising the people lies, bare lies, right? And so there it is, where the people know today, we know there is no fixed election date being set by Andrew Holness, being at the helm, going into 11 years, being at the helm. So what can he say? He can't say anything. It is to show Jamaica that, listen to me, this man is a dictator. You understand? Everything that this man done as it relates to pilfering, you understand, in terms of more than $3 trillion unaccounted for, was premeditated by Andrew Holness and Juliet Holness. Premeditated by Andrew Holness and Juliet Holness, and they had executed it. So right then and there, we deal with fixed election date, you understand, in terms of the people fully understand that Andrew Holness, that was a false promise. He failed on that. Move on, my brother.
But remember, I'm saying 100 days in the people. He never said 10 years.
Yes.
100 days, 10 years, is that far different from 100 days? 100 days are just 3 months or something, you know?
Yeah.
Yes? Continue.
100 days for fixed election date. Still I wait for the promise to fulfill. One broken promise after another. Laughable. As we say, none of your promises are fulfilled yet, boss. So there are we.
Within the first 100 days of our government, we will start the legislative process to institute impeachment proceedings in Parliament. This will add another layer of protection.
Hold on there now. Make it get serious now. Make it get serious.
Yes.
Right? And we need to make Jamaica understand that as it relates to the corruption index, as it relates to the worst corruption index, fall under Bruce Golding. When the corruption index dropped to 30, we have that evidence.
Yes.
The corruption index dropped to 30. Now, what people don't understand is to show you, and you know, when me tell you the argument here, when we hear people that talk about the PNP and the GLP are one of a kind, it cut me to the core. Yes. It cut me to the core because you see what we are going to talk about now in the corruption index. Look, you know.
Yes.
Watch this now. I'm going to tell the people the truth because we have the evidence to show.
Yes.
2007 to 2011 was Bruce Golding tenure, right? Now, if you look at the corruption index that define Bruce Golding tenure, right? What you have seen where the corruption index dropped to 30, the worst it has ever been. Remember, you know, based on the matrix of the corruption index, anything below 50, you know, is highly corrupted, you know. Yes. But yet we're going at 30. Now watch this now. When the People's National Party took over in 2012, when the corruption index lifted from 30 to 38.
Yes.
But what the people understand now, for show you the difference what the People's National Party is in terms of building the economy, you understand, and drive for a better future in terms of checks, balance, and accountability and transparency. Now, watch this now, wait. Remember, it sits at 38 as it relates to the corruption index. Now, you hear him talk about when he get into power, he's going to talk about impeachment proceedings. This is where we are going over in terms of me. I bring up the corruption index. You know?
Yes.
Now, watch this now. Remember that to the fact that we were still low, Bush Simpson administration take it from 30 to 38, right? Now, remember now that corruption index came out, right, in 2016, right, and I was at 38. Now, watch this now, wait. Mark Golding, again, Mark Jefferson, hey, this goes to show, no, hey, no matter how them suppress the goodness of Mark Golding, it cannot be suppressed. Father God is going to show the goodwill. Mark Golding, you understand, decided to say, watch, he wants to give Jamaica a better reporting on the corruption index. You know what Mark Golding did? Remember that the Integrity Commission Act, right? Remember that there are three entities that merge into the Integrity Commission, you know.
Yes.
The Auditor General, the Contractor General at the time, right? And two other companies merge to form the Integrity Commission. You understand? So Mark Golding worked on the bill, right? And merge three entities into one. And when it merged three entities into one, what happened to the corruption index? The corruption index advanced from 38 to what? 44. Let us speak this. The corruption index as a result of Mark Jefferson Golding. And look here, I know, we are not telling any lies here. We are talking about facts. The corruption index went from 38 to 44. It is the highest it has ever been Jamaica because of Mark Jefferson Golding. Now, since Mark Jefferson Golding had done that and make the corruption and make the Integrity Commission Act pass in 2017, remember, you know, Mark Golding work on the legislation, you know. You understand? And bring in the Integrity Commission Act 2017. Now, Mark Golding was also working on the impeachment bill because Mark Golding believed that we don't have to wait on the process in terms of a general election. You understand? That means if a MP is not performing, we have to wait on a general election to vote him out. Mark Golding said, no, we should deal with more firm checks and balance and transparency. If an MP is not performing and an MP done something ethically and morally bankrupt, you understand? I mean, you should have that MP impeached and that MP step away from the political representation. This is Andrew Holness. I'm glad, oh yeah, play it. I'm going to replay it again. Where my talk say impeachment bill. He is the one who helped crush it. Crush it. He is the one now helped crush it. Play it again with the people up here.
Within the first 100 days of our government, we will start the legislative process to institute impeachment proceedings in Parliament. This will add another layer of protection of the Parliament to ensure that only members of unquestioned integrity sit in the Parliament.
Stop it right here. Stop it right here. Only members.
Yes.
Jamaica. I wonder if you know hear what Andrew Holness said. Only members of unquestionable integrity. So when me see Juliet Holness, right, they try to school Angela Burnburke in Parliament. When we hear Andrew Holness talk about he's going to, deal with impeachment process and extra layer because it is only unquestionable persons with that unquestionable character supposed to be in Parliament. Now, Jamaica, let us ask this. Let us ask this. Let us deal with what we are dealing with as it relates to this scammer in Parliament. He's nothing more than a scammer. He is the one now who fight against the impeachment bill. Fighting. So he doesn't want to be impeached. No. Because of the corruption that he involved in. And here he is talking about unquestionable character. So uno know say him is a 3-card man. Uno know say him is a 3-card specialist. Him is a con artist. You understand? Him is cash plus boss. Him is all-in boss. Him is SSL boss. And him they are the head of the scamming. When we realize what he is doing with our political process, pay scamming, pay lies, pay deceit. And here we are today. Andrew Holness is fighting against his own anti-corruption system. When you look upon it now, people, the man who they talk about impeachment, the man who the old hypocrite who they talk about unquestionable character. Now, this is the very same Satan who is now fighting against his own anti-corruption system because his own anti-corruption system relating to the Integrity Commission investigators, they are saying that we cannot have your statutory declaration certified based on your income, assets, and liability that you cannot explain in spite of the several years that we have given you to explain, right? You can't explain them. You can't explain them, right? So when I look at that, you're talking about Andrew Holness that left from poor, from the bosom of the poor. Remember, people, we could take on back in history. When Andrew Holness leave university, he owed student loan. And from owing student loan, look who we are looking at now. Someone who took, you tell me Jamaica, where you ever see this in Jamaica? Someone who took less than said 14 years to become a multi-billionaire. Make it make sense, people. Someone who just couldn't pay his student loan. Right? Is telling Abka Fitz-Henley, lie, deceit, that he brought into the politics $47 million.
Yes.
When did Andrew Holness leave school? When did Andrew Holness leave school? Andrew Holness left school, left university in 1994. Oh, no, look no paper. Where he owed student loan and worked for Siaga right? For 2 years in charity. And within that 2 years, Andrew Holness amassed $47 million, then why are you going into politics? If me, they amass $23.5 million annually, why am I going to politics? Why am I going to politics? When me make them big profit margin there. Where am I going to politics? To do what? And here he is. Leave all of that, people. We could talk about this. Leave all of that because as according to him, that he brought in $47 million into the politics. So we know say 1995 and 1996, he worked for Edward Seaga in a charity. 1997, he came into the politics. So if he brought $47 million in the politics, he must have gotten it between 1995 and 1996. Now, common sense that? So, okay, since that is so, you tell me how he came by $47 million.
We can't.
How he came by $47 million.
Like.
And then, when you look at it, right? When you look at it, you realize that this man, in a truthful democracy, he shouldn't be on the ballot. And I'm not talking about be on the ballot running for prime minister. He shouldn't involve in our politics, no all. Period. Point blank and period. This man is a common thief. And you see, when we talk about it, Wayne, people might believe that, look here, there's nothing about Andrew Holness. You know, Andrew Holness put his office, the prime minister office, the office of the prime minister in a disrepute. There's a cancer in our politics. There's a serious cancer in our politics. Because if the prime minister of Jamaica cannot be trusted, it is a very serious situation, and that of confidence, that affect confidence, it also affect business confidence. The prime minister cannot be trusted. See it right now, Imam Michael leeching in some sort of beef, right? Obviously, this man, you understand, is outrightly, based on all the indications that we are looking on, right? We are just seeing someone who is a criminal. And we cannot identify, we cannot define him, right? I mean, anything out of that scope. He's a criminal because obviously the amount of corruption, which, all right, let us ask this. Let us ask this question and let me get, because some people might, their head might the boil, you know, their head might the boil. So let me ask this question. Of all the administration prior to Andrew Holness or pre-Andrew Holness, did we have our anti-corruption system, whether it was the Contractor General before the Integrity Commission, ever have any of the Prime Minister, right? Where they have him under this surveillance, where they have him under this investigation, intense investigation. People, think about this. Think about this. If the Integrity Commission investigators were accusing Andrew Holness wrongfully, don't you believe that Geico won't get overfed? Remember, I said Geico Lizard and brethren, you know. And the reason for him to employ Geico Lizard was for Geico Lizard to go over there and mash down, you understand, what needs to be stopped as it relates to the investigation.
Sure.
But what Geico Lizard buck up in, and the amount of evidence were over there, Geico Lizard have to keep silent. And I ask Geico Lizard that, based on the evidence that Geico Lizard they look on over there, Geico Lizard knows that he can't help him. Why mistake come to that point? We are reasoning, you know. We have come to some conscious reasoning as to why, you understand, I deduce to that sort of understanding. Now remember, you know, the Prime Minister is the Prime Minister, you know, at the most powerful office that's in the country. You know? And you cannot have a dark cloud hanging over the Prime Minister. I know for sure that Geico Lizard wouldn't have a dark cloud hanging over the Prime Minister. What Geico Lizard want to do, the Geico Lizard want to search to find ways and means to vindicate the Prime Minister and say, see here, all of what being said, you understand, was a lie on the Prime Minister. Remember before Geico Lizard viewed the evidence that FID have before he was a part of FID. Remember that he came out, you know, and defended the Prime Minister, you know. People who remember, you know, Mystic Sensation, I remind you. You understand? That's why I find it's a Titan's important. Watch this now. Remember that Geico Lizard was defending Andrew Holness prior to Andrew Holness put him in FID. Now, guess what? Geico Lizard went over there. And what Geico Lizard, that is what my instinct, my intelligence is telling me, that Geico Lizard, based on what he is looking on, you notice him silent. Him can't speak. You know what I say? Me I take for myself. And guess what? Not only him I say I take for himself, you know. Other investigators are telling him, say, watch out, recuse from the investigation now. Recuse yourself from the investigation now. Because you see what over yourself, it is so overwhelming. So you what now? It is so uncomfortable that the only way out is to try to create NARA. The secret weapon behind NARA is to crush investigation. So if NARA can make him becomes that powerhouse, giving him that power to circumvent statutory bodies, that when statutory bodies said, no, we can't issue you that permit, he's going to say, I approve it as it relates to law that he drafted. Go again, people. One more thumbs up for Mark Jefferson Golden. One more thumbs up for the opposition. So let me ask you now. For all of the people, they must say, PNP just sitting at the background and PNP not doing anything and PNP this and PNP. That's why I don't speak in that regards. You know? I don't speak in that regards. Because I know what the PNP is doing. I know that the PNP, you understand, the angle the PAC and the angle the PAAC, and nothing can pass Peter Bunting for all them and those who want Peter Bunting to leave. You know, say them are evil. Now, you know, say PAC, you understand, Peter Bunting stand up in it. PAC, you know, Julian Robinson stand up in it, him a host that, and not now slick through. You understand? Any ball was slip on the crease, being caught right at slip. And you know, PAAC, not now slip through. Because Mr. Bunting over there and him can cool on Juliet Holness if Juliet Holness believes that she wants to run certain things. You understand? Yes. Peter Bunting over there to cool her down. So here we go now. We have adequate and potent, efficient persons with capacity, the tenacity, the reach. You understand? Now, let me show you something. If you look at Mark Golden set of opposition MPs and you compare them with the Jamaica Labour Party, right, MPs, compare our councillors and compare our mayors. Let me ask you a question now. Do we have any mayor in the PNP that is so brilliant like the mayor in St. Thomas? What do the mats there? You
the one in Portland, the one that's St. Thomas. You know.
You remember the mats there?
Okay.
No.
Portland, yes.
PNP mats to work like that. Where you have the mats there?
Yeah, we have the mats. So, no, but put it over there. So I have the computer there up.
So let me tell you about Jamaica. What the People's National Party deals with in terms of building the economy is what we call meritocracy. What does that mean? It simply means that persons who are going to be employed for a particular position, that person indeed has the skill set, the capacity, and the tenacity. Now, watch this now. When you have an Isaac Buchanan get up in Parliament and address any situation, would you be getting that from an Anne-Marie Vaz? The only thing you're going to get from Anne-Marie Vaz, road, carpet, road, bus and more. No. Can that move policy? Can that create policy? Look what Isaac Buchanan did. We don't hype, right? We act. And what Isaac Buchanan had done is to tell you that the route, the road, the pathway is education. And of course, he started with the young minds in giving them laptops and so forth, accessibility to education. Isaac Buchanan have done that. Why Anne-Marie Vaz, being the MP, couldn't have thought of something like that? No, because that is out of her cranium. Don't think like that. That is out of her cranium. You understand? Don't think like that. But you have a brilliant Isaac Buchanan. Now, let us move to one of our superwomen. One of our superwomen in strength. I show off tonight, about my PNP opposition MP, Let us move to our one of our superwoman. Look at Nikisha Burchell. When Nikisha Burchell stand up in Parliament and addressed Parliament, right, on point, real measurably, her argument, right, definitely dedicated to her objective in terms of what she wants to achieve, right? Now, her constituency have a Nikisha Burchell to be proud of. Someone who has the tenacity, the capacity, the reach and the range, you understand, to speak out and speak up for her constituency. Now, Dr. Angela Brown Burke. Let me tell you something. That lady alone so make me feel proud in the man. Proud. The doctor bring the student to class in our lonesome. Double down in her arrogance and give Dr. Brown Burke the opportunity to teach her a lesson a second time around. And did she, right, deliver? More than deliver. Excellent. Put her in her place and say, listen, you come here ranting. You have no time for introspection. Shame on you. But let me say this to you. Respect goes where respect comes from. And if you want an Angela Brown Burke to respect you, Angela Brown Burke is not going to be submissive. Angela Brown Burke is going to respect someone who respects her as a human being. Right? And let me tell you something. People, want to see it, say she run away, Because if you can't take the heat, leave the kitchen. And I yield back. Bless up my brother. Bless up my brother. Left the kitchen.
But we just say, look at the demonstration and go and I take down for the play when we're done. But we have to deal with Andrew tonight, people, because what I'm doing now is a rebrand. In rebrand is failures. The promises we make, we have to remind ourselves this guy cannot be trusted. Now around the country. And by the way, the country never grow up. Him say it all time out. I have it line up for a play now, Byron.
Yes.
Line up for a play. You understand? Yes, man. We have them line up for a play. So we have to
remember, we check on anything, man. Come with it.
Because the country going back where it's from prosperity to poverty now,
Yes.
Disappears. So it's going back where. But the guy is a punchline guy. Remember when him say about impeachment, remember him tell the opposition this to Byron. Remember this.
Of dealing with anti-corruption issues. So there is a learning curve that we are going through. What is important is that the government supports the development of the institution so it can accelerate very quickly on that learning curve and provide the resources so that they can move very quickly on the learning curve, and that the government does not intervene or interfere. And that message goes to the opposition as well. Leave the anti-corruption and policing agencies to do their jobs.
People,
Stop right there.
people,
Stop right there. Stop it right there. Hey, look.
if they interrupt
Step of
you,
the way.
if they interrupt,
Hold on. Every step of the way, you realize that
yes,
he's a dirty hypocrite.
yes,
Every step of the way, right? You hear him? That the government will support the effort of the Integrity Commission investigators.
yes.
And they must leave the Integrity Commission to do their jobs.
So,
Hold on.
Let me ask
Look
you
at that. Look at that.
the guy will get shot. The guy will get shot. Him that do him job, you know. And I know nobody to investigate him. Them nearly kill him. Them take with the briefcase. We don't know where them going with, you know. And yes, still them do everything to stop these people, great Christian, everything. But them they just leave them, make them do the job. You cannot trust Andrew Holness.
So let me ask my question.
Yes.
We just heard a clip where he said, right? I don't know who he was talking about, but you know, he has to be identifying himself to leave the anti-corruption entities to do their job. So then let me ask a question. Who pass, right, the muzzle clause? Who pass section 53 subsection 3, the muzzle clause? Who passed that? No, Andrew Holness. Flat them down. No, so here you are, telling people with a hypocritical self to leave the anti-corruption bodies to do their jobs. And you are the one, not only that, you know, not only that you pass, you execute section 53, subsection 3. You also apply to the court. Andrew Holness, remember, you know, you also applied to the court for the judge, right, to remove the illicit enrichment laws, you know, from the Corruption Act, you know.
True.
Remember that he did that, you know.
Him do it, yes.
Remember that he did this, you know.
Yeah.
What you just said? What you just said this up? What you just said this up? So everyone know. Now listen me. Your day is numbered. Your day is numbered. The walls are closing in on you. And when we say your day is numbered, let me make that clear, because you know them criminal and with them criminal mind, they will switch your argument, you know. When we say your day is numbered, it means that your political strength that you bear, you understand, you are losing it. It is dwindling. You are getting weak.
Yeah.
And guess what? You are on your way to get what? Booted out of power.
Then
whether you are going to be prosecuted out of power, right? And which I am more 98% sure that you are going to be prosecuted out of power. And Andrew, you can mark my word. May I give you that?
All right. We'll continue again. So tonight in a bolo. Yeah, man, big up yourself. Let's see a bolo. See the one of the people them in that place. But hear this now. Andrew go rebrand every failure we have, you know. The man promised 100 days, and I have to do it one by one because we have the time. And then we are doing some other big things with him. This guy in field Jamaica. No two way about it. Watch this. Yeah. Finish watch.
Ministers under the new Jamaica Labour Party government will be given a...
What? You hear what I'm just saying? Yes, Barbara.
Yes. Okay. No, play that now. Me not hear it. Will be given a job letter. I didn't hear that. Play back.
Hold on.
Will be given a job letter. That job letter has a timeline of 2 years and 6 months with key performance targets, which are agreed upon by the cabinet, focused on two things: economic growth and job creation.
And people will have none of that. Not even one. Him get jammed letter for 2 years and 6 months. Brother, around 10 years. This I got 10 years, you know.
All right. Hold on, Lonzo. We could talk about that.
Yeah? The man
talk about that.
And job creation. Can you imagine? Can you imagine this stuff?
Family.
Brother, I feel like the man here, you know.
Family. Remember that was one of his justification, so-called justification, you understand, in terms of increasing salary.
Yes.
Now, you see the salary, you see the increased salary, I want to talk to Jamaican people. It's to show you when Andrew Holness said he doesn't play draft, he played chess. This salary increase is not a situation that Andrew Holness wanted it. I want Jamaican people to listen to me. Right? And this is how this corruption is extremely serious. Really and truly, it is not like he really wanted it.
No.
The amount of corruption that him involved in, you understand, he's a billionaire. So he don't really want it. Right? But this is a camouflage of his true intention.
Good.
What is his true intention? Wants to make sure that people who is going to indulge and induce in his crime, right? This is the way how he use taxpayers' money, right? To now feed them for his support in criminality. Now, look. So what he had done in terms of the salary increase, when you have a parallel in the DPP, right, where her salary for the year was $4.5 million Jamaican dollars, right, for the year. And here it is that the Prime Minister, under Dickey way, right, using laws to hide beneath the cover of laws, giving bribery to induce criminality. So when you give the DPP a raise of nearly 300%, so the DPP herself moved from a salary from $5,000 to now $16 million. What may I say about 5,000?
4 or 5 million. 4 or 5 million.
When you have the DPP move from $5 million to $16 million. Now let me ask you a question. This DPP, what people don't realize, this DPP was employed by Jamaica Labour Party.
True.
When did Paula Llewellyn became DPP? 2008.
Yes.
It is Bruce Golding who installed the DPP. That's why I say we have to teach history. You know?
Of course.
And I want people, I mean, know so many people are Google search right now, you know, I say, Ratty George Byron Wright.
Of course.
No. It is Bruce Golding. Right? As it relates to Bruce Golding administration, Shuttlein, Paula Llewellyn. Now, so when you have an Andrew Holness who took Paula Llewellyn, a GLP operative, from getting $4.5 million annually, and you raise that DPP pay actually 300%, you are now looking at Paula Llewellyn getting partially $16 million per year. Let me ask, you see, let me tell you something. The Bible says, this is what the Bible says. The Bible did not say that money is the root of all evil. The Bible says that the love for money is the root of all evil. This is where Paula Llewellyn sold his soul to Andrew Holness. So when we talk about Andrew Holness' crime is premeditated, you must understand how long Andrew Holness have been utilizing this method in his cranium, dying to hold on to power because he's going to effect and execute his poison. But he believes that he's a salesman, so he's going to deflect attention from him and say, don't vote for the PNP, because if you vote for them, they will inject poison on you. What a deflection. What a psychology in reverse. Not reverse psychology, but psychology in reverse. So when you look on that, you realize that what Andrew Holness is doing as it relates to his level of criminality and corruption, everything that the Jamaica Labour Party has done wrong, this is what we are going to do now. We are going to use the media to shape the narrative for us. So our crime shall be their crime. There comes the FinSac accusation, because the GLP crime shall be the PNP crime as it relates to the media blitz and how they shape the narrative. And so then, of course, Big Mama will have to get on the plan, on the theme to deliver. Right? It is not like they don't know that really and truly. You understand? Dan Crawford had given Edward Seaga over $31 million, but they switched the narrative to say that, okay, it is not these loose loans that caused the 90s financial meltdown. What else caused the financial meltdown? Bad policies, right? And we had people getting substantial amount of loan, unsecured loans. Edward Seaga was a part of that. And so then if Andrew Holness brought in $47 million as it relates to what he said to Abka Fitz-Henley, he must then either get it from Edward Seaga, or if he didn't get it from Edward Seaga, then we have to ask Andrew Holness, did you involve in drugs operation? Plain and simple. People, let us face the fact. If you did not rob, if you indeed, let us deal with the history, let us deal with the evidence that is before us. What we are saying, we don't know if Andrew Holness brought in $47 million because we know him all liar. But what we are saying, if we are to believe you, if we are to deduce from what you are saying, if we are to interpret, if we are to determine in terms of what you are saying, the $47 million that you brought in, let us make that register to the brain who are listening to us, to the people who are listening to us. So then if you brought in $47 million and if there's any truth to that, let us ask the question now. Where did you get it? How did you come by it? Now, between 1995 and 1997, you have done financial work for Edward Seaga. Between the very same period of time, Edward Seaga, right, had gotten $31 million from Dan Crawford. As a matter of fact, Dan Crawford take up the people their money and give it to Edward Seaga. Now, so then let me ask you a question, Andrew Holness. Did you steal Edward Seaga money? And if you didn't steal Edward Seaga money, then the next question that I'm going to ask you, that Lonesome and me going to ask you, did you get it from drugs? We only ask question.
We don't ask.
We not accuse you.
But hold on, Byron. You don't say
ask question.
Let me put something on that, Byron. Go on, we're going to answer you right now. But let me put something on that. Andrew Holness, when I see what's note, Jamaica, and Byron, you don't say jokes. Jamaica turn a coke up on Andrew Holness watch. Anyone I want to run your so, you including you, Bowler. I'll make it out now, but including you. Byron, you too. Anyone I want to ever hear this government, Andrew Holness in particular, or Dr. Crab, come out and condemn cocaine or take over the whole country?
No, he has never done that.
And we are telling tonight again, you know, long we are calling him. No, him come and say, rather man, the little boy, them send who for meet and make about this man, no come and condemn who are carrying the billions and billions of coke all over the place. It turns in our poor Kevin.
Small criminal alone, they want target.
Yes, Paolo.
Small criminal alone, they want target, me general. You should put more ask for a question, I not stay. I don't want to show now, but to not talk about the master for rebranding his failures. Now, in terms of a light bill, we hear such man what the end of parliament that said, are the PNP fault, why the light bill them high.
No, brother, no. We are big man now. Voila. That me tell them man are very done. We don't want to you. Right now, we just go and drill out and make Barbara go and hammer them. But hear this, let me answer now. So you want me to answer to you? All right, you want me to answer to you now. So people, you know, the government came in. I remember, you know, just the devaluation of the dollar alone, everything rise. Just not alone. Them come in when it was 121. Remember, you know, Madame Lagarde said it revalue. If him did not go on good, does the revalue and get back even look more strength? How much for the dollar now? 168 for one? That alone, the island, everything go. Where you use one JPS? A water when you buy one?
No.
Hey, this so dunce. Anybody sit down and listen to boom? I'm very dunce. Very, very dunce. And it really get me upset when me attack because, you know, them just come and take the people, them to jackass, like, them feel say a buster man, the kind of people them attack to. Same way. And everybody don't start them and want handout. Brother, does that alone tell you if the oil, you see it rise up there, so JPS must, by the way, it peg by the dollar. Then the country now going good. And if JPS raise, that means everything will rise up and you know. Bus fare, yeah, you understand, more for food, more for this, and it will continue. Plus, all them do is put in more taxes per you know. Yeah? Both more taxes. Now, the other day when the thing blow, I'm going to tell you, say it must rise up. Remember, you know, Byron, them have investors. And if you have investors and you lose so much money, remember them need back money for their money, you know. They automatically, this will go right up. And Joe, with them look at dirty promise, they come in and bring in the big old power plant them. Or go in a solar energy. Where we have to depend on the oil. Then it could have cut down something. Paul, when they don't come with that, them stop that. Them they not push that too much, yeah? Yeah? So when this guy come out and talk, it does bullshit. If you just keep on the sliding at the dollar alone, it rise everything. Me say, yes, when you can't do maths, are the wickedest thing I in the world. And them math not matting. The maths not matting. Yeah? So anytime them come and stand up and talk them foolishness again, we run them way. Them they're garbage. Too much of the foolishness. Every time them come and destroy the place in the brothers and sister. You see what them do? Them rise up for them thing 200 and 200%. And then make Bank of Jamaica come out and say to the private sector, you can't rise up them place because they make inflation. No. Say no make inflation when them and Bank of Jamaica give them the go ahead, you know. Colluded with Holness. But the one of them know which already because be a Robin and be a sitting there going. Yeah, Batman and Robin. Well, the two of them are going, you know, Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin. Well, Big Mama, you understand the quote. Batman and Robin. Pair that them going with. Not a for them lifestyle. Yeah? And then make them get raised up here and that's okay. But the little people them will suffer. Remember, boss be going up on, you know, light bill, water rate. You have to send your youth to a school. You know, how you manage? So your basket, you can't be carrying a basket right now in a better. It's impossible. You see, when him go about 3,000 the other day for a basket, tell him go feed and say no buy 2 items. Tell him go feed. So anytime him come around and talk about and the pay big, that is bull crap again. And if it's the blame game, that remember, you know, you powerful as a prime minister of a government. You can't change everything and turn on the place. Remember, you know, when man they take the place from them, from share of them, the place run down, not there, you know. And him and Fabila. We never have free education and free health and them thing there, you know. Never. We people them never have a place to look what land they have. Some of them live on that tree like goat. Man, they start building them house there. That poor people can survive. And put in policies and all kind of things to them. Allow me to tell you,
you're perfectly right.
Show it.
You're perfectly right. So, and this is what we are saying. as it relates to the Jamaica Labour Party calculative strategy, right? Now, what they are doing now, taking their sins, their corruption, and want to hang it around the neck of the People's National Party. So everything that now they accuse the People's National Party of, the reality of the situation, they are the ones who had done it. You understand the evil, the viciousness to people, right? And this has been the ploy from 1980 with Edward Seaga, right? Doing all what he had done, right? And work with the CIA to damage democratic socialism. But we are not going to drift too far. We don't want to lose focus. Yes. We are talking about Andrew Holness as it relates to the strategy in terms of the premeditated and the calculated plan that Andrew Holness had to rob our treasury, steal our treasury. Now, Jamaica, let me say this to you. So don't be surprised. And hear why you are not to be surprised. Andrew Holness, premeditatedly, right, had done all of these things. Number one, let us talk true argument. The rise of the Ponzi scheme in Jamaica. Andrew Holness and Darrell Vaz were behind all of them. The first Ponzi scheme in Jamaica, I want people to do the history, do the research. Holness, Andrew Holness and Darrell Vaz with that same calculated spirit, the same conniving and deceiving. They were at the head of the pyramid. They were at the head of the pyramid. What people don't understand, that the financial meltdown spring a lot of these Ponzi schemes. And Andrew Holness, the Jamaica Labour Party government, was the centerpiece behind the trickery. So then, the government allowed Holness, but not only that they allowed Holness, they participated in Holness. Now remember that Holness also fund the Jamaica Labour Party campaign by giving the Jamaica Labour Party $5 million US. Hold on, people. You don't believe that the JLP would have known that this money being given to the JLP to fund campaign, it is investors' money. It is investors' money. Right? That they are taking to funnel the Jamaica Labour Party campaign. And every Ponzi scheme being strategized by the Jamaica Labour Party. Now, Darrell Vaz and Andrew Holness and other GLP members were involved in Holness having account in Holness and benefited as it relates to the Integrity Commission investigation, showing you the amount of money, you understand, from Holness that Andrew Holness absorbed. Now, hold on, people. Let us reason. So after Holness crash, and you realize that you have hurt thousands of investors, you have hurt them, you damaged them. Our GDP being impacted in that. Tell me, Jamaica, what did Andrew Holness do? He has no mercy. I want to show you, Jamaica, that he's merciless. This is not somebody that you need to take his smile for a smile. This man is a narcissist, right? Merciless, heartless. He has no heart. Don't ever underestimate Andrew Holness. He's a heartless person. He's a monster. He's a Dracula. Now, Having that information and know that, okay, you hurt several investors and it impacted Jamaica GDP. What did you do? Did you set out to crush Cash Plus? No, you didn't. You leave from Orient 2006, 1 year apart after you damaged investors. 1 year. 2007, what did you do? Jump into Cash Plus. Heartless. Quarrel. Vampire-like. Dracula-like. Sucking the blood of our own black brothers and sisters. That's what you have done, Andrew Holness. So you hurt them in Orient, but you didn't stop there. You move on to Cash Plus. And again, you and Darrell Vaz were placed at the pinnacle of Cash Plus in the Ponzi scheme. So then, of course, again, you benefited. Again, you hurt investors again. Crush them to the walls again. And you smile. Because this gives you the urge of cruelty, of evil, Satan, personification. But again, you didn't stop. You extend yourself. And you have Patrick Bailey drafted shell companies now for you now. Because you're getting bigger now. You're getting powerful now. You're getting greedy. The love of money is the root of all evil. It becomes now so overwhelming. You can't stop yourself. You become serial where that is concerned. And guess what you do now? Yes, it is time for us to branch out. Time for us to launder our money. Hide the original source of our sins. And so, of course, Patrick Bailey, I want you to set up some shell company. And Patrick Bailey did that, set up this shell company. Now that is how you have ADMAT. Because, of course, people do your Google search. It is Patrick Bailey who crafted ADMAT. But when ADMAT placed in St. Lucia, people be wise, be prudent. It wasn't so much that Andrew Holness was hiding away from tax. No. Man have money, man. Man have money. Right? You have to understand the trickery and understand the front that Andrew Holness is putting up. So it is not so much about hiding away from tax. The real reason why it was placed in ADMAT is to take ADMAT from out of the jurisdiction of investigation. To remove ADMAT from out of the arms of investigation. So then ADMAT wouldn't be investigated, wouldn't be looked into, because it is not on Jamaica jurisdiction. You must understand, when Andrew Holness said he doesn't play draft, he played chess.
Okay.
This is one of his chess moves. But I tell you, Jamaica, that now when you look, the very same here that he set up ADMAT 2008. Well on Jamaica, I'm going to tell you something because we are investigating it. So look at it. Look at the pattern, Jamaica. 2006, Wallet. 2007, Cash Plus. 2008, ADMAT. And what else? SSL. Andrew Holness joined SSL 2008. So what Andrew Holness has been doing over the period is what we call Ponzi scheme hopping. Jamaica, listen. This is no joke. Ponzi scheme hopping. Now you tell me that the Prime Minister is so barefaced, talking hanging over the heads of Jamaican people that he lost money in Orient. Did we just hear that? So let me ask you a question, Andrew. If me and Wayne lost money in our wallet, me and Wayne now go in a cash plus.
We don't learn the lesson, brother.
We don't learn the lesson.
Of course.
And if we lost money in our wallet and lost money in a cash plus,
that make it worse.
Me and Wayne now go in a SSL.
Make it worse.
So you see how you believe that you're smart, but you're a damn dumb ass. Because you're only digging yourself deeper. Right? So then, that's why you need to come in front of us. Now, so it goes to show you that you have strong benefit from holding. Money nice, the money sweet, you holding crash. What you have done, you jump cross cash plus. Cash plus money nice, money sweet you. Right? You mash down cash plus. And then you jump across all it, but you get big, greedy. Admat 2008. So now Admat is in St. Lucia. What you have done, Andrew Holness, we are show people you're evil. Yes, Mystic Sensation, we are show people you're evil. So you use Admat now to buy up the properties. You bought 5 properties exceeding over the cost of over $57 million. Now, let me ask you a question, Andrew Holness. Come in front of the class. In 2008, when you're in the Ministry of Education, what was your salary? Talk to us. What was your salary? Your salary is just merely $5.2 million. That was your salary. That was your salary, sir. So you getting $5.2 million. Let me Mystic Sensation ask you the question. How on God earth you are able to be buying up over $57 million worth of properties? Where did you get the money from? Where did you get the money from? You start to buy up all these properties, right? Between the period 2007, right, to 2008, going into 2009, buying up all of these properties. But yet, you did not make any money in Orient. And you did not make any money in cash plus. Are you telling us that you did not make any money in SSL? And of course, your demons, associates, follow you everywhere you go. Darrell Vaz. Darrell Vaz in Orient. Darrell Vaz in Cash Plus. Darrell Vaz in SSL. And what did Darrell Vaz was doing in SSL? Let me remind people. Darrell Vaz was managing the accounts, several Jamaica Labour Party accounts in SSL. So what was SSL really and truly? SSL, like Orient, like Cash Plus, SSL, the common denominator, they are all campaign funding for the Jamaica Labour Party. They are the machineries that fund the Jamaica Labour Party. What these machines have done, damaging Jamaica GDP, damaging investors. And who is now at the helm of our politics saying he wants to fix Jamaica economy? The man who damaged it? The man who stole from us via the means of Ponzi schemes? Are you kidding me? And now it becomes so addicted to him, he cannot stop himself. It now entrenched. He now emboldened. Because you know why, Jamaica? We allow him to get away thus far with this. We allow him. Now remember, as it relates to Andrew Holness, he doesn't play draft, he plays chess. All the institutions, let me tell you something again, Jamaica. All the institutions that is going to hold Andrew Holness checks and balance, you know what Andrew Holness is doing right now to them? Limit them in terms of reach. Not having them able to employ adequate people to spread their investigation. Andrew Holness crippling them. Look, Jamaica, and be aware, be cognizant of what is happening. Andrew Holness crippling vital investigation, vital probity into his corruption by making them skeleton. And so then, limited people as it relates to the Integrity Commission investigators, right? They need more manpower. Andrew Holness making sure he's all in that. Tighten it. Squeeze the budget. And Warmington, on the other hand, got up in Parliament. I don't know why we are paying the Integrity Commission millions of dollars per year for doing what? These are the demons. These are the demons. You understand that? Work alongside with him to plant those narratives and send those seeds. And that is one of the reasons why from day one, when he had stolen the election and we moved from 14 to 28, I said we need the PAC, handed over the PAC and the PAAC back to the People's National Party. Please hand over the PAC and the PAAC back to the People's National Party. And so then now you can understand the sort of probity. Now, Jamaica people, if they take control of the PAC and the PAC, you think you'd have heard anything about UHII? No. You wouldn't have heard nothing. They would crush it. The PAC and the PAAC, no probity would have come from them. So then when we understand our civics lesson as it relates to our politics and the level of criminality as it relates to what Andrew Holness is doing, he cannot go around away lonesome. He cannot go around a Mystic Sensation and others who are active out there doing work. And let me say this. When you look also, right? Of course, we have Ralston Hyman over Portland Spice. You understand? Is giving you true reflection of the state of the economy. And that is a reality. That Ralston Hyman is providing the guidance and the map for us to look into and show you that here is a war, oil increase, and yet the government has no plan. No plan ahead. Jamaica people, we are flying on autopilot, and I yield back.
All right, so here this now, people, we're going to show you, say this guy, Andrew Holness, and him map, because them they are map, you know, in millions by round. All Andrew do, you know, him fling out punchline. And all I'm failures, when we brand them, it reach now, you know. But me go play this, me go play the economic growth and job creation, why I'm created, and him I tell it to go on good. Now me hear every businessman, them PSOJ, them come out on the court against it, Byron, and I say, well, you can't continue the same way because you're going to get the same result. You have to do something. Him himself, come and blame the people now, you know. Me can play that now too. Me can play this first, Byron. Me can pick out this. Hear this.
Our ability to grow the economy is not far-fetched. In fact, economic...
People, You remember, just write down a word for me now. When does Byron? Not far-fetched. Before not far-fetched. You have it, man, set the close. So I'm telling it not far-fetched. It's not the way over this, right? Remember that word. Continue. So we dissect him.
Growth is not new to Jamaica. History records that between 1962 and 1970, our GDP growth rate was 5.31%. The problem is that sustained economic growth has been elusive. Therefore, we must identify a sustained path to economic growth and job creation. This administration has one task: unleash the economic potential and utilize the incredible...
People, just to go and put up there. This is one for trick you people, you know. So I put up Leaching, the richest man in Jamaica at the time. You know, Andrew them passed him long time and in cabinet passed Leaching. Because they might try to block Leaching. But for people, Leaching are bad, though. Leaching are bad, you know, by that. So yeah. Leaching Adam Stewart, him now the chairman for the Growth Council. And him go Israel, him come back, him time go all over the world and we have too much skinny kids. So we call him too much skinny kids now. Right now, him a ball. Continue now, Byron. Yeah, this now. More tell this thing, right. Byron. What's not?
Energy, enterprise, and industry of the Jamaican people for economic growth and shared prosperity.
Yes.
That is why the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation was created and conceptualized to facilitate growth with the slogan, achieving prosperity through economic growth and sustainable development.
Okay.
The amalgamation of approximately 50 agencies.
You hear when that's a man? That's a 19. You hear what I'm saying? 50 agencies. So if people, let me just say something before I play, continue play again, Byron. If him put the whole PSOJ, him have 50 agencies. Him have all of the ministries, super minister name now, you know. And if him feel that, but I don't believe in an hour right now. The man a rebrand himself in a one agency in that 50. It feel. Don't follow this guy. This guy, listen. If you don't follow him, I'm going to play something and show you. I feel, you know. I rebrand him, come and rebrand again in a Byron.
Yeah, exactly.
No, continue.
Is a deliberate move to focus our efforts on sustainable economic growth. It is important that we align our policies to meet the mission of this.
To line our policies. So I'm coming now and now to line a policy when I'm in the government. To line, Byron, you take a note there. To line
everything, man. Everything good, man.
All of these things already, you know.
Everything in my brain, Papa.
Grandbrother.
Ready for me.
To create a Jamaican economy which consistently meets or exceeds its growth targets while providing meaningful jobs and economic opportunities for all in a sustainable manner.
All right.
The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation focuses on critical portfolio areas where investment, foreign and local, is buttressed by the provision of housing, access to water, and proper infrastructure.
And the same thing I talk about now and now again, you know. Rebrand again, continue. This is where the fear by one. Let us continue run out this. Slow down. 1 minute.
Availability of land for residential and commercial development, but with due regard given to preserving our environment as well as climate change, which has the potential to derail our plans for economic growth if we fail to adapt to its impacts. In achieving our goals, it is imperative that we create ecosystems of growth where every single Jamaican can contribute to the process and reap the benefits. One of our 8 initiatives in the 5 and 4 target of the Economic Growth Council speaks to bureaucratic reforms. That is...
The same bureaucratic reform. So you're the Prime Minister and the people, them are the government for 10 years and the people. And him a tell about bureaucratic reform, him use this select go himself all the while. Remember, your word stand as a Prime Minister. Let me tell you something. Same like with the lighting. Let me just put in this Byron. People, listen this good. When Michael Mandy came in 1972, remember, you know, six North American company owned the backside. Because the JLP, them give them that. We now get nothing but 25 million off it. Him force buy into the company is a company. And you can't force buy into any company, whether JPS or any other company. No make them telling the foolishness. And when him force buy and them come with the levy, who want to move from 25 million to 200 million, it save Jamaica and brother. And it saved Jamaica, you know. Yeah? So anything when them come in and them will blame somebody at about the company, that is bullshit. A matter of fact, when PJ Patterson them are going, Paul will have to carry the telephone company, you know, and change up the contract with them and force that war with them. That's why we have so much. That's why we get telephone and everything and better. Remember, you know, we never even have them think about hotspot and this and all kind of things, you know. We used to use phone box by Iran and Jamitel. And the PMP changed up that thing by Iran.
Exactly.
They have to rush the company and change that. So, we don't make them talk about blame PMP and JPS and all, the whole of that bull crap. Continue. This is done. I'm going to let you go upon him now, Byron. Hear this.
To improve the business environment.
Here?
This is important because we must cut the red tape
and
provide the right regulatory environment for investors.
So, brother, so all you say that about cut red tape now, you're the Prime Minister for 10 years. You tell this already, brother. That for sure your people say this guy, he might rebrand with now, right? Now when I make no sense of failure, you know. I just a thief money. That will not help you. The man come with some name, it's garbage. In 6 come out now, man. Destroying a country. And all him do is rebrand each time. Yeah, and leave out them and now, better. And come with a look. Remember, I'm a 50 agency. Where you going one now? And I talk about the same red tape and bureaucracy. Eh? Continue.
Investors. Consequently, we must address the slow pace of implementation of government projects, which saps the vibrancy of the economy.
And the same thing he said about Nara the other day. Remember, him at the government, you know, and them at the government. Him can't just snap him finger, it have to go. Yes, so that guy a wicked though. I feel him fail with this, the whole of this, you know, brother. The super ministry fail, where you go with the agency. No, I treat the people them again. Continue.
And contributes to the missed opportunities.
Okay.
I believe that as we work together, we create a strong, cohesive, productive, harmonious, and peaceful Jamaica that is truly the place of choice to live, work, raise families, do business, and retire in paradise.
You know, so I'm going to more and go tell them that the other day when I'm in the plaza, live, work, raise family, do business, and retire in a paradise. And it's a turn first world country, you get a stop there until you get Kentucky. And that alone them have up there, you know. Then I rest up now over here now. This Andrew one is everything for him to feel. Continue, Byron, and you are coming now, you know. Watch this.
I have every confidence.
In
the excellent team on board to get the job done.
Yeah.
I have already seen evidence of what they can accomplish through vision, strategic planning, focus, hard work, and commitment. Together, let's transform Jamaica.
So let me ask you now, Byron. So can I play something where I'm saying again after this way you make me come in on Byron? Where the whole of the vision are gone because him see the work already, him have leeching the whole of them. Him have everybody behind him. Him have the whole PSOJ back him, him have the richest man back him, everybody. When we look leeching this up and spread, we so play leeching about, brother. But you see the failure and the rebrand when we talk about, brother. If you have a super ministry, Byron, if a man have a super ministry, him have every ministry, him have the super minister. And him have 50 agencies, him say it. And him feel when I do come back now and just rebrand a name and I tell you say this and opposition want to stop him because I now have a fixed place. You don't believe in this guy, brother?
Well, let me say this to you and to all of the people who tune in, Lonesome. Because there's a key component that I just gathered from that, right? Lie, deceit, deception. Now, Ian, if you notice what he had said, right? He said he had an excellent team to deliver on the 5-in-4 plan. Did you realize that him say that?
Of course.
Said he has an excellent team. I want people to get it.
You know why I'm saying,
Yeah, but what he said, he had an excellent team to deliver. So he has confidence in that team. But let me tell you what this is. And Wayne, I'm going to tell you what this is.
Yes.
Andrew Holness when Andrew Holness said he doesn't play draft, he played chess. Andrew Holness premeditated action to rob the treasury. Right? Which he had executed, robbing the treasury. You know what Andrew Holness is saying now? So he came up with a plan in talking about bureaucracy. What do you think is putting bureaucracy in it? I'm going to tell the people, I'm going to wake up the people and make the people understand. I'm going to decode his criminal network. Because he knows that he robbed the country, right? And as it relates to what we have, as it relates to $3 trillion unaccounted for, and he knows that this is what he had done, robbed the country. So to what he's telling out there, I am telling Jamaica that the country is broke of what Andrew Holness had done. The corruption, the thievery, the robbery, through nepotism, cronyism. You understand? No. But in trick, tell them about bureaucracy, because it is the bureaucracy is not allowing his administration to get the job done. But I'm going to show you where I caught him. It is the bureaucracy that is causing the problem. We have a problem with bureaucracy. Right? So then, the problem that we are having with bureaucracy, remember, you know, him thief of the money, you know. Him rob the treasury, you know. So then now, use the bureaucracy. Because guess what? Many projects cannot be done because of budget overrun as it relates to Cornwall Regional Hospital, and many programs, billion-dollar programs that include budget overrun through nepotism, cronyism, and skullduggery. As a result of that, social programs, many programs, right, to build the infrastructures, it doesn't have the money because they rob it. So what? Tell the people that it is bureaucracy that is slowing down the process. You know, the bureaucracy cannot get the job done. You know, the bureaucracy, no money is not there, people. They effed up the money. That's why the Auditor General is telling you that $3 trillion cannot be accounted for, because the criminal and his network rob the money, rob it. So what? Tell them about bureaucracy now. No, this is a well-calculated plan, you know, in terms of how he might try to explain in way, you understand, out of this, you know. And when I sit here and I listen to him and I say, oh, that's what you have done. You rob the treasury. Jamaica don't really have no money. And that is one of the reasons why he's overseas begging money. You understand? That is one of the reasons why.
Baron.
Let me drive on this point. I don't want to forget it.
Okay.
That is the reason why, as it relates to Melissa and what IMF had given us, is holding on to it because the country has no money. Because the only thing now he has is talking about bureaucracy, but really and truly no money, no debt there. The PNP has to get in power now to tell us the real revelation of the status of the economy, so we can go on and talk about Jamaica. Jamaica has no money. Andrew Holness administration rob it up. So then, if I can tell them that bureaucracy, right, is causing me, right, causing my administration not, right, to commit to these projects, fixing the roads and fixing the bridges, then, you know, this is another way that, you know, can survive some time, you understand, because of the deceit and the lies that you are telling, because we rob the money. Now, let me tell you something now. Let me show you why it is not bureaucracy. Come on, people. If it was bureaucracy, did bureaucracy stop Darrell Valls from getting $1.4 billion to buy the whole school bus? Let us start now. Let us break this down.
Good.
Where was the bureaucracy?
Well, don't move with the school bus. I don't make him move it. But Livingston, I mean, I know you say too full, and your mama, your papa, your attack, you look at
them. Don't pay no time, man, with them. No,
I'm telling you about it, because them want send them people.
Break to them, the people. Like, them can't talk, man. Them got talk, man.
No, I'm not put them in. I'm not this them in. You understand? Don't thinking piece of shit. And this, remember this and this, mama.
Wait. I can move on from that, man.
I'm about him fast. I don't know where, you know. Yeah, man, them are shit, man. Yes. Yeah, man, go through better.
So then, we are saying, because him know, the Auditor General is telling you that this is a crisis. This is a crisis. So when you're coming out, and because he knows that the Auditor General is on him, saying, hey, look, this needs to be explained. The Auditor General is touching him on his shoulder. And they say, hold on. You see, meanwhile, Christopher Tufton is saying that he moved the LK budget from 64 billion to 147 billion. Guess what? Andrew Holness? Listen, Andrew, over $900 billion unaccounted for. Over $900 billion unaccounted for, and in many ministries, including the office of the Prime Minister. Hey, hold on, Andrew Holness, come here. Over $12.8 billion as it relates to the office of the Prime Minister unaccounted for. The Ministry of Labour, Education, all of the ministries, they went on a robbery hike. People, listen to me what I'm saying. They went on a robbery hike. Right? They pilfer, they ravage the treasury. No money, not there. No money is there. Jamaica is under pressure. Now, watch this. Let me say this to you, Jamaica. Let me say this to you. If it was bureaucracy, then let me ask the question. Why bureaucracy did not stop Darrell Vaz from getting $1.4 billion for the school bus? It did not stop him. Why the bureaucracy did not stop Darrell Vaz as it relates to the Starlink? Why never stop him? Yeah, we have heard the frustration. Government announced phase 2 road rehab program. And these are what I'm telling you about.
Well, look at the money now. Read the money.
Yeah, okay. Work Minister Nestor Morgan says the government has heard the public frustration over deteriorating road conditions and is responding with a 1.4 billion second phase of the Go Road rehab program. Look here.
Go Road.
All what they are doing now because they don't have the money is PR. See if you can PR, you'll be out because you will rob the money.
But the 50 million there. Well, 50 million there. But they look, Spark and the other one now reach right there.
The rabbit win. Look here, the damage. Hey, Jamaica, let me tell you something. Yo, hey, this is Brian.
Yes.
Seriously, this is no joke. This is no joke. This is no joke, my brother. The amount of damage that Andrew Holness done to this country. Hey, look here. If the PNP had gone in power, the amount of things that would be revealing. Right? Let me tell you something. Let me tell Jamaica this. And tell every labor right this. Any day Jamaica and PNP get in power, they are going to run away. They know they are going to run away. I tell you, Jamaica. Because of what they have done, Andrew Holness and Juliet Holness and the set of thieves. They are criminals. Hey, look. Hey, Wayne, mark my word. Today is the 7th of May. Remember, people, mark my word. There is going to be some serious situation in Jamaica. The people are going to push to the limit and they can't take it anymore. I am telling you, it is going to get serious. Now, the only way Andrew Holness don't go to prison and some of his members, unless them left the country, The only way them go to prison, unless them left the country. We can tell them that, and I yield back. No, just look at the evil what he had done, and using bureaucracy argument. Using bureaucracy argument because there is no money to fix the road, no money to complete the bridge. They are so wicked and evil.
Let me ask again. So Andrew, at the head for bureaucracy, you know, you're the prime minister. And me just point out again, when Mike and man they couldn't get the corporation, him have a thing they enforced by, and it helped the country, right? Bureaucracy not stop here. So if a bureaucracy that stop the money, Tufton could have gone 24 billion from 2 billion. Could never. And the money them will go and keep on missing team officer and them bureaucracy that stop it. So when him come and say bureaucracy, but hear this now. Him come back here, so no better. I'm going to play this now. Him just do this now, you know. Remember, you know, this was like 9-10 years ago. Me just play. No, I'm going to play Andrew. I tell you. I'm going to blame the whole owner now. He must say, him carry the country. Let me play this, Byron. It's a good man. Let me play this, brother. Yeah, when the man come back, come say, I blame the people them, you know. And yeah, I'm tell you, so the road no fix the hospital, no fix nothing. Same like what we are saying every day. Uncle some ass and then listen to this guy. Andrew Holness and follow him. The guy when we rebrand the thing all the time. No two way about it.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Yeah. That's what he's doing.
Yeah,
about the money.
No, because there's a lot of misconceptions.
No, I'm not play that one. Hold on, come on. That one I want to play. That one, look on that one, better. Put up that one, add it.
For Jamaica, for the last 50 years, has been how to manage its revenues, its expenditure.
We just play one where I say everything easy and it's far-fetched, you know. The challenge to Jamaica and how to manage revenue. This he might come with him like again, but why you listening keenly now?
It's boring. In order to be able to withstand shocks. That's what we've been trying to do for the last 50 years. Have we?
Let me tell to you, you know. And the IMF for them go back to, let me tell you, 1995, Patterson done with that, you know. And them go borrow money from IMF. And I tag along with IMF. You know that them engage them from 2009 and by 2010 them draw down. Them not pay them back and put the country in a tailspin here. Continue. You say him lie though. Continue.
You done it well? I leave that for you to judge. But I will say this. In the last decade, the last 10 years, we have focused heavily on managing our expenditure, our revenues, and our debt.
Aaron, why you hear this now? Them heavily manage the revenue and the debt and the expenditure. You hear this?
Yeah. Wait, give me a couple of minutes here. I have a situation for you, deal with.
Yes.
Just give me a couple of minutes.
All right. Go and play this people.
Point where our expenditure keeps in line with our revenues so that we do not incur unnecessary debt. This is what we mean when we say we have done a deep fiscal reform. So when
they're not doing a fiscal reform, you won't have so much money missing and all kind of thing. That's his bull crap again. That is bull crap again.
Have you hear the term used about fiscal consolidation, fiscal discipline? That's what Jamaica has achieved in the last decade.
People, and I must say the last decade, that start from 2013, 2014. And that put in a law. I don't think them do, it's paid on, it's service the debt. Because we owe more money now than what we owe in 2015. You can go look it up. It's right there. We're going to service the debt, right? So now, even not do this. Them around the country back. Continue.
Managing the financial affairs of the government to avoid crises, to prevent crises,
you hear this?
and to help us to recover when crises occur. I should also put in that
able to recover about 6.7 billion US, over $1 trillion. Our great grandparents them have to pay it back. You see, you have to just know when him talk, him not mean nothing. Him want to rebrand and then him just come talk some crap. And nobody that if you ask him the question and point out these things. Right? Continue.
savings. So in the last decade, Jamaica has built savings which act as buffer
So, you might talk about the last 10 years. You can't talk about the saving. Let me tell you, the Bank of Jamaica operate independently. So does Water Commission, NHT, and you have like the custom and them thing there, you know, them have them one budget, them one thing and everything. But Jamaica build this. I remember, you know, that the money provide goods and services. If we said 36 weeks, remember 52 weeks in a year. See? And him cannot touch the money. Because you know I have interest rate and it a mash up the place. Them done the money where the government put there. The Bank of Jamaica make them money off of fees and charges and all kind of things. And then buy the dollar for lower price and sell it for higher price. So they make money. Yeah? So now him a save. The government broke. What me say broke? Broke with a capital B. Broke. Nothing. Remember them for run for budget. Don't follow him. Continue.
Crises. What does all of this have to do with IMEC and the Chancellor, Lloyd Carney? Well, fiscal discipline and fiscal management has a limit. Fiscal discipline.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to blame who do what I want to know. I want to listen. Hey, I want to listen good. I'm going to tell you about fiscal discipline and fiscal. Remember, you know, when Mama P deal with the IMF, them have to walk, them have to creep on them knee. You remember him say, them have pass IMF tests. And them need to pass the growth test. So you can't just pass IMF test and now pass the growth test. And Portia Simpson for going to make IMF vote for her. Remember, that's the exact word I'm saying. Make IMF vote for them then. Right? You ever talk about fiscal discipline? My mama Peter talk about fiscal discipline and put it in. Sean Peter Phillips them. Right? Him come out and rush them about it, you know. Okay, continue.
Then is a necessary condition, but it is not a sufficient condition for our economic development.
You hear him tell you now, the physical discipline of time tell us the country in a good standing. He might tell us it can't help you in our war. We need growth. We need growth. Of course, none of that we have preached on a long time. I tell them, I say, we don't need growth. This man is a can guy. He might mislead, you know. Yeah, continue.
So we have solved the first part of the problem, which is fiscal discipline.
He not solve not our people. And by him to say that, hey, well on there. Let me say something to you now. So by him to come say himself the first part of problem for 10 years, physical discipline, remember people put him from 2013. Right? He must say himself the first part. It was there. We show no the tape with the IMF, they came down and she said what and what they put in a law. So you could have appear man that them kind of him get the listen. This is the government who ever get the biggest pay from taxpayers, you know. For doing nothing, you know, but chatting and the PR, you know. Him solved the first problem in 10 years. You know what I'm telling you now? Him said no, him want to know how fiscal. I think them say the country that run. Him ask no, him want to know, oh, and him blame who know. Him blame the whole of not my word. Hear this, not my word. Him say himself the first part, hear this.
Fiscal management, good fiscal management is the foundation, but yes, you need growth in order for fiscal discipline itself to last.
So we need growth in order. You know, I'm just telling some people, hey, that's what I'm telling you that them don't come around here, you know. Him just admit to the country not growing. No, that him just said quiet. Him just said this couple of years ago. We need growth in order, but under no the country not grow. We're going to play some other people tell it now, we can't continue on the same thing. In my case, him just telling you we need growth in order for physical discipline for last. We never tell the people them this the other day, you know, say the country are going good. We are big mama them ocean wide come out and say you sit down for a pile of money and none of this. These are all lies. When you are big people and tell lies, someone you're sick too much better. You can't hurt people like this better. Him dangerous. Him a wall back progress. Continue.
And for the people of Jamaica to achieve prosperity. Because...
Yes, no. Let me play about that. So you when they say 10 years, you know, and now I'm going to tell you know, this can last, you need growth. And for not achieve prosperity. Him still I use the word prosperity for stop. Hey, I'm going to stop making recycle thing pound here. All right.
Fiscal management is the foundation, but you need growth in order for fiscal discipline itself to last and for the people of Jamaica to achieve prosperity. Because without growth, then the pressures to break fiscal discipline will grow.
When does Sally Kawhi, when does Samaki without growth? Him the Prime Minister. Him does say to Kawhi, don't it? So without growth, do we tell us not now grow? Yeah, him does admit it too no. When we play 5 in for him economic growth, he must tell about them the right track. No, the man confess in that speech. Like when do with the little kids them, the high school kids them. He might tell you without growth. He might tell you the road bad. He might tell the hospital in a crisis that come out of my mouth. Not my word. Yeah. Without growth. Hear this.
Whereas the same public that benefits from the fiscal discipline will say, listen, I can't take the potholes any longer, borrow the money to fix the road. Same public.
So but you know what that means? All right. When they say the same public, who do you matter? You say, who benefit from what kind of fiscal discipline? What do people benefit? What they benefit? Is the albatross on them neck? Them can't benefit from the fiscal discipline because you have to tighten your belt. Listen me, all that are bullshit. Mama P come and tell us that she know, and even Peter Phillips, when they put it in, I said them know it's hard. But you have to face this, what we have got through, to make it better. Them tell you, because I remember them come get the IMF, the thing with them, feel the IMF, them, Andrew them, He was the last Prime Minister before Mama P take it from him. Right? But them tell you the truth. They tell them, man, when you deal with the people, them deal with them with the truth and stop around them. Stop the arms house. This now make no country better. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you no people this. You see, anybody where you see I do something and you know it's wrong and you aided and betting them, they will never do better, This government cannot do better, They don't have no idea, because what them do, them just use. What them do is a guy with a gift of the gab. He just come and just come use words and pretty talk because him study social science, like political science. So him just use punchline. Say that tough tongue do the same thing. So this is what them do. Them just come and say something, but it's not reality. You understand? Yeah. Me not know. So this guy now, him tell you what Jamaica did nice, but no, he might tell you, say, I own the people them. I go say, come fix the road. You're tired of the patrol. I know the patrol. I'm going to tell you now, you're tired of the broken hospital. Hear this. It's in a crisis. Him say it. Hear this. Hear this.
The public will say, look, the hospitals are in crisis. Don't tell me about fiscal discipline anymore. Go and borrow the money. Fix the hospitals. So
him just admit to you that the hospital them in crisis and it not fixed. Him say, only the public now. So when you hear him talk now, we not say no, we not going to say nothing to him, we not dead. We don't have the money for fly out, We don't have the money for even use the private much as to fly out. Them do that. Tough and foot sick him fly. Yeah? When we sit on your side talk, we talk for the poor and needy, not the rich and greedy. This bad. And then them finger have blame. Some blame the public now. And them say the public can say the hospital in crisis, him for fix it. Go borrow the money and fix it. You hear him? So him know say it broken. Him know say the road bad. But them not fix it. So when them come talk to you like this now, you're gonna just hold back. But let me tell you this. When you are driving on the road and you drop in one of them sinkhole there and bust your tire and you take your life and you pity them left behind and you take your pity them life or your mother life or your father life or your family them life. Them all right. Yeah? No government can run like this. I can tell you this again. If me I drive out the sun, even my walk and drop on the sidewalk, I'm only that. That's why they move back and I look at thing on the place very clean. A matter of fact, if you look out there, when I did my video, it's already shown you, I see the chucker pass and wash it, clean it. So clean. Yeah? You understand? So you want, I remember, this is a normal life for me. I say everybody, you know, see no bus one, and everybody have 2 and 3 vehicles, 4 vehicles in front of them place. And I'm most SUV, I see them place, so it runs up. Yeah? And it's just a normal thing. So when we attack phone, this is a normal life. This is just everyday life. See? We don't have nothing. No for right now. don't even have food down the house. We have to go by day. We have to live like animal. We have to hunt every other day. Every day, we have to hunt. We have to hunt today to eat something sometime 1 meal a day. We have to hunt tomorrow. No. Remember, we don't have no food down the house. You know? I want to still go around and pick up. This will change. One little place, I want to have them raise them pay for so much and we not suffer. And we attack food and they will have some little bugs. But I come from people program and show themselves. We not work with them. Go away. This is wrong. Him just admit to the world Jamaica. He might blame the people there. He might blame them. Yeah? He might blame them. So we're not going to tell him now for fix the crisis. That you know the hospital in crisis. But you know what? He might borrow money and fix it. And by the way, he never borrow money now and fix the hospital. Right? He never borrow money now and fix it. Hey, Baron, let me make you catch back a little part, you know.
Yes.
You have to catch back this, brother. You have to catch back this. So, you, my brother. Yeah, man. I soon call the cat. Up, man. You're up, man. I soon call the tree now. I have some of that. Yeah. So, hear this now. Let me catch back this, Byron. And the people, them, the man I blame now in a Byron. Let me play back here, so. Why you hear this, Byron? No, you know, remember, you know, it does say one thing. Listen this, good Byron. Hear this. Yeah, so.
To prevent crises and to help us to recover when crises occur. I should also put in that savings. So in the last decade, Jamaica has built savings which act as buffer for crises. What does
Byron, you know, so the Bank of Jamaica independent of them. I know so the government broke, right? But
yeah,
all the time. All right.
All of this have to do with IMEC and the Chancellor, Lloyd Carney. Well, fiscal discipline and fiscal management has a limit. Fiscal discipline is a necessary condition, but it is not a sufficient condition for our economic development.
So I'm tell them the truth for the first time. I really talk truth to them, Byron. I confess on this, you know. That means, we on Fiscal, him tell us it can't help you. It cannot help you appear where appear some debt. Not now going for the country. Continue. Yeah, again now.
So we have solved the first part of the problem, which is fiscal discipline, fiscal management.
And him solve that, Mama P. Byron, you know that already.
Yeah, of course, we know that. We know that.
Let's continue. Okay.
Good fiscal management is the foundation, but you need.
So, Byron, if you are in your house and you have fiscal management, me could have come and tell you, them that write up and say you're missing this money, and you know you're this and overrun and we don't know the money. That means you don't manage something that's not fiscal management.
Exactly.
You cannot just a service and debt and a car, but you are do good fiscal management. You don't manage the country properly. Too much money I'm missing. We don't know what the 12 billion out of him have to spend neither, brother. We don't know. And we said so the Auditor General said, you have 800 million in a radar. How it spend? We don't know. We have next 21 million up a university. All the money they spend. All the procurement them going out kind of little things. Him still want to talk about red tape. Or you move from 2 billion to 20 billion per one hospital down. So all that work. But continue. Hear this now, Byron.
Growth in order for fiscal discipline itself to last and for the people.
Byron, him just admit, sir, we don't have no growth. Because we have growth for fiscal discipline last. That means if we have growth, him don't use that word. If Jamaica grow people, him that would we have to have growth in order for fiscal discipline for last. He wouldn't even say the word. He don't need to say it. Me tell us that the country stagnant. I mash up, but it mash up.
Fiscal discipline, fiscal management, good fiscal management is the foundation, but you need growth in order for fiscal discipline itself to last and for the people of Jamaica to achieve prosperity. Because without growth, then the pressures to break fiscal discipline will grow. In other words, the same public that benefits from the fiscal discipline will say, listen, I can't take the potholes any longer, borrow the money to fix the road.
So I tell us the road them not good. And they must say, Uno, I got to tell them can't take it no longer. I want to benefit. You know benefit. Because fiscal discipline, when me hear what Peter Phillips said, and you know this. If you have to tighten your belt in a physical discipline, right? Because they don't put on more taxes on you, you don't get your road fixed, you don't get this. So all you benefit from that, brother. You suffer. That's why, remember, Leaching come and tell them, say, them have something they think they tax, so them put on. Them for move it because it's for there for 3 years.
Yes, asset tax.
Asset tax. Because it make him pay over 200 million US. And why them not take it off, can't hurt him? Them things are suffer you. So I'm not talking about you benefit from something. You know, I'm not tell the same talk back way, brother. Continue.
The public will say, look, the hospitals are in crisis. Don't tell me about fiscal discipline anymore. Go and borrow the money. Fix them.
Hey, you know, him just admit against the hospital in crisis, brother. All time one out. People them want to know for Holness now. He just confess. And he might use this physical discipline night and night and he might attack the people them now. Hear this again now, brother. Hear this.
Hospitals. So the challenge for the next decade is not just how to keep your expenditures within your revenues and don't borrow a lot. The challenge for the next decade is how do we increase revenues? How do we increase production? How do we increase the size of the economy? That is a discussion that we have avoided. We don't.
So we know that mean a country now increase when we now do nothing. Says a challenge now. You hear this? Hear this?
want to talk about it because somehow we believe that fiscal discipline alone is going to result in increased wages or increased employment. It is a false and dangerous notion. So
oh, you got to say increase employment when you don't tell me say the country have full employment. Yeah, they lie again now, brother. Yeah, when the man does convince, him does confess, you know. Or if you talk about increase employment when we have full employment, brother. And increase this and increase that. Him says a false notion. I know him say him blame the public. And I say it's a false notion. And him selling the false notion.
Hold on.
Yeah?
Hold on.
Yes.
All right. Now, Lonzo.
Yes.
Now, we heard what he just said. And you know the reason why I laugh?
Yes.
Right? This is what you call, as I said, psychology in reverse. Now, watch this. His administration is what hurt the economy, everything that he's speaking about. But what he's also saying, that his administration, right, guilty of not growing the economy.
Thank you.
Plain.
Thank you.
That is plain. Now, he also telling the entire world that his administration has nothing to do in terms of increased production.
Thank you.
Right? And so then in order to pay nurses and doctors and, civil workers and all of that, right? You have to be growing the economy, right? And those are the things that, now, the question, he has been there 10 years. 10 years. 10 years.
Yes.
So look at this now, Wayne. Now we caught him in I'm lie. So then, when he said, as it relates to the liar demons at PIOJ, the Planning Institute of Jamaica, that poverty has increased from 18% to 7.5%. He's now saying that is a lie.
Of course.
No, we catch him now. We catch him red-handed. When he said, that poverty reduced from 18% to 7.5%. How was that able to happen when you are not increasing production and you have no growth in the economy and your administration has never grown the economy as it relates to beyond 2%. As never. So then, I am asking you. So again, identifying the PIOJ said unemployment is at what percentage? 3.8%.
Full employment.
Full employment.
Yes.
Because 3.8%, you're saying that 96.5% of people within the space of your economy employed. Now that you must say?
Yes.
Yeah? Now, okay. The big question goes back to the Auditor General question. Can you give an account for over $3 trillion that is unaccounted for? All of what Andrew Holness is saying here lead back to what the Auditor General Wayne is investigating. Over $3 trillion cannot be accounted for. Now, if you break them down as it relates to ministry, the Ministry of Health cannot give account for over $600 billion over a 10-year period. They can't give an account. Now, it goes back to the bureaucracy in terms of what he's talking. If bureaucracy is going to prevent the Andrew Holness administration from delivering on projects, let me ask a question. When you started Cornwall Regional Hospital in 2017, as it relates to refurbishing, let me repeat that, quote and refurbishing. Remember that your administration or the technocrats, well, not really use technocrats, you know, to put in people, and nepotism and cronyism and skullduggery. So, excuse me, people, because them people are not use them technocrats. You understand? Because they have to put in people to steal the money. So the people want to put in to steal the money because they don't use technocrats. Right? We do a cost analysis, right? And the cost analysis, as it relates $2 billion, right, in 2017 to do the refurbishing. However, that never manifested, right? Then again, we do another cost analysis. I want to know if bureaucracy, you understand, utilized there to prevent that. Then it goes to $4 billion. I am saying, as it relates to cost overrun from $2 billion to $4 billion, why the bureaucracy never chipped in? Why the bureaucracy never worked to protect our tax dollars? Come on now, Andrew, want to start to us. Right here. Right, from $2 billion and 100% cost overrun to $4 billion. Where is the bureaucracy? How does the bureaucracy prevent that? Why the bureaucracy did not prevent that? Since you're blaming bureaucracy, seems that bureaucracy missing from there. Anyway, let us move on. And so then, Cornwall Regional, right, extend from $4 billion to what? $9 billion. But come here, Andrew Holness. Come here, Andrew Holness and Christopher Tufton. Because we found another clip where Christopher Tufton is saying from 2017 to 2024, right? They had spent $3.8 billion. Christopher Tufton is saying, all of them money they want to say we spend, we don't spend that. Between 2017 to 2024, Christopher Tufton said 3.5 billion spent. Voila. Between 2024 and 2025, Christopher Tufton is saying now that $9.8 billion spent. Let us do the maths. Wayne.
Yes, yes.
So between 2017, let us do the maths. Between 2017 and 2024, as according to Christopher Tufta, the government spent $3.5 billion. Right, Wayne?
Yes, yes, yes.
So between 2024 and 2025, within that 1 year bracket, it escalated to $9.5 billion. Now, can you do the maths? Eh? So then, okay. So we probably look upon $6 billion worth in variances. Now, tell me that you spend 7 years, as according to Christopher Tufta, 7 years to spend $3.5 billion. But it took you 1 year to spend $6 billion. Jamaica people, make it make sense. So let me ask Andrew Holness. Did the bureaucracy stop that from happening? Did the bureaucracy stop that from happening? Now, this is where the bureaucracy works. Whenever we're supposed to have, deal with social programs to build our country resilience, this is now where the bureaucracy works, don't Andrew Holness? Yeah. Because the bureaucracy is going to prevent you from fixing the roads that was slated to fix. But the bureaucracy didn't work between 2024 and 2025 as it relates to Cornwall Regional Hospital spending $6 billion. But the bureaucracy is going to work with social programs. Not building the roads, not fixing the bridges, and when we need to give, of course, the $6 billion US as it relates to hurricane relief, and the bureaucracy, the bureaucracy is burning us down. The administration, we have to get rid of the bureaucracy because the bureaucracy is an obstacle. But when it comes to the thieving programs, the programs where you rub up the country, billions of dollars through certain ministry, unaccounted for, the bureaucracy didn't work. Oh, you explain that. Explain that to us. Why the bureaucracy seems to be working conveniently. That when it comes to project where it is going to benefit the country and not your pocket, anything has to do with benefiting the country and not your pocket, bureaucracy is the problem. And we have to find ways and means, to fix the bureaucracy, because the long process and so forth, and you have to go through this and go back and forth and so forth, and so the bureaucracy, you understand, stand up on them there, because those are projects need to benefit the country, but the projects that benefit your pocket, no bureaucracy, none whatsoever. The Starlink programs, the Starlink that have been stolen, no bureaucracy there. The school bus that there was breach procurement guidelines. Come on now, man. No bureaucracy can stop that. There was that, so when it comes to our programs and those programs that are going to benefit our pockets and so forth, we control the bureaucracy. So, Prime Minister, you never remember that you are the Prime Minister. You never remember that you control the bureaucracy. You never remember that, of course, you can, whatever you can do to make it happen, make it happen. If you can make it happen for the school bus, $1.4 billion for the school bus. Why can't you make it happen to fix the road? Why can't you make it happen? Why can't you, if you can move the bureaucracy so that Darrell Vars can get $1.4 billion, which reroute it back to your campaign and reroute it back to your pocket, benefit you and Darrell Vars. No bureaucracy, no work. Where is the bureaucracy? No bureaucracy cannot save the people. But obviously, yes, any social programs to develop the country infrastructure, to move the country forward, the bureaucracy, yes, tell them, right? You and your criminals, tell them that bureaucracy is what slowing up the process, right? So that certain things cannot come on stream because you know the bureaucracy is a problem. And so then what you want now? You want NARA, right? You want NARA to give you ultimate power to do what? So NARA, Jamaican people, as you see it in terms of rebuilding the argument for you, the basis of our argument, NARA has nothing to do as it relates to developing Jamaica. Nothing. Within NARA, what Andrew Holness wanted NARA for is to circumvent investigation into his criminality. But let me tell you something. The chess that you are playing with people's life, you have already lost the game. Let me tell you that, Andrew Holness. You have exposed, and we know who you are. And I'm going to tell you that you need to just line up yourself for prison. You and them and those need to line up yourself for prison. Because what else you have as it relates to your PR and your plan box? People use your PR. Right? Now, have you take a look, you and Christopher Tufton, as it relates to the condition of our healthcare lately? In spite of you moving the healthcare budget from $67 billion. Now, this one is despicable. This one is so despicable. That you, Christopher Tufton, go on your campaign, beat a chest. You know, the level of harm that you do to Jamaican people. Not only that you rob them, but you believe that they are stupid. Darrell Vars said it. You believe that they are so stupid that they don't and will never understand what you have done. They have a next bet coming. And you believe that, okay, your snakes, eyes, man, skills, sharp. And you have your Morgan, right? To sell off some of the skillness there. And of course, your PR machine, your spin machine is working. But let me tell you something. They're gone overtime. They are working overtime. Because things are come up to bomb. And I am telling you, we understand with all the criminality that you have done, the DPP silent, not a word. All the criminality that you have done, the Commissioner of Police looking the wrong way. And from your case gone to FID, FID maintain a loud silence that everyone can hear. The silence of FID is so loud that everyone can hear. But let me say this to you. That if FID cannot clear you, how are you going to be cleared? Let me say this to Jamaican people. We are not going to take another uncertified statutory declaration. We are calling up on every single person in Jamaica to put a halt right then and there. He must not, if he cannot be certified Jamaica, we must have him demit office. He should not be continued. Whatever any investigation that being in the delay process, the investigation should not be a reason for them to say the Prime Minister has not been charged, because that is their argument. You go over Big Mama want to ring fence you. Draws Davis want to ring fence you. And they will ask you the question, does the Prime Minister charge? I want to show you the corruption in the people. Does the Prime Minister charge? The Prime Minister has not been charged as a result of the trickery and the obstacles that the Prime Minister put in the way. Now, let me ask Draws Davis and Big Mama something. Since you are asking, does the Prime Minister charge? I am asking you, Draws Davis, asking you, Big Mama, does the Prime Minister certify? Since you can ask if the Prime Minister charge, let me ask you, does the Prime Minister certify? Is the Prime Minister able to explain his income, assets, and liabilities? Talk to us. Because we don't have idiot over on the channel. I don't believe so we can talk over them head. And make them look so articulate. But you are an articulate fools over there. Right? And so then this is the situation that we are talking about as it relates to the level of criminality and the tolerance. The Commissioner of Police, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're a nasty man. The DPP, you should be ashamed of yourself. But you're really ugly for a reason. You're really shaped like the predator for a reason. I have to start giving it to you the way you deserve it. Your level of indulgence shaped like your face. Because you can't see nothing wrong. This is how evil look. Evil looks like you, DPP. Let me hand over because I'm getting grieved.
But hear this now, people. So me just show you Andrew Holness. Remember, you know, Byron, the 5 and 4. Who was the chairman? You know, so that was a big can do, brother. Because the man used leeching as the chairman. Yeah, for the 5 and 4 business there, right? Right, Byron?
Yeah.
Yes, he used chairman.
You know this was there. Hold on.
People.
You know this was there.
Yes, brother.
Adam Stewart. Notice him.
Him gone too.
You know the lineup.
But hear this now. Hear this. Because if you have, when do you know, the people in Jamaica look, because when do it's a surface guy, you know, where you see him use. So the other day, him go to the UDC and tell them, him want a park in every parish. No, that not Jamaica, no better. Because people hungry. Remember, every go the black clag up in a better. If we have hurricane now, you know, the place called people are washing and all kind of things. You see the road, them a mash up more and everything. Because no gully drain, not no clean. See? No build nothing. You know what? Talk about park. Them they're the first thing you have to deal with. You want them road patch out, you want the drainage and the gully them to clean. That the water can run off quickly instead of stay and mash up people place. That's true, Byron.
Exactly.
So when you give it a park, you see it's a fierce thing that, you know, when you see it in them where people come and say, if I build the place, you know, look on the park, but go look on the house. We don't have food. Look on the road. It not think about the people that in the Byron.
Exactly.
They want to cool down them head, come up with a park. That would be the last thing for you think if people have no place to live. He might talk about park when people still in the school. He might move them from the school and put them next door. And then say 2 more months. No, 2 more months. Yes, 8 weeks. He not say 8 weeks, you know. He not 2 months, you know. 8 weeks, you know, 2 months. That 2 more months before them get a container house. That's a garbage again, brother. So the people, they might spend 2 more months and put them in a July. And look at August, September, October. And 9 months that they might stay out the road, you know. Now have no place to live, you know.
Lonesome. Lonesome. He said that 300 containers homes.
So I must have 2 more
are on the island. You know. He did say that. Hold on. Let me see if we can send you the document.
No, me see it. Just, me know, me read it already. You're right. Me have it. Me know. You understand? Something, no, man. So this is all mislead the people all the time. So we have to hold him on him word, Byron. You know, me know it. All right. You know what I'm saying again, Byron? Him say, you know, I have to be careful what I'm saying and because people using my own words. Are we matter put on in a better?
Yeah, of course.
I want to do tabloid. Somebody use your own word. So anybody will come and say, hey, them can't say we are 10 life on him, you know. And when him say we are dissect, him say one thing, you say, them say next thing, you say, then him build a new agency. To do what? You understand?
Yeah.
It doesn't make no sense. And I talk about, and don't make him tell about the red tape. Because in an election, me sure him just tell Sniffy to use $1 billion and say him a look for 50,000 people. He want to give one time, want 20,000. Him have money, him can just override these red tape when him feel like to.
Conveniently.
Yeah?
Convenient.
Yeah, you understand? Him just override the red tape and say 50 and call it solidarity. But yes, still tell about red tape and all kind of thing. Remember, you know, him had a head for the park. So him can move a lot of things here. You understand? But the people them still have to check and balances. But even get things done. So when I come tell about now and them around up and down, it's just a sham again. I remember you can't take people, because what them do again in the Bible, they move the professional people them who are working, you know, and put in about. So that make it worse. You will never get nothing done like this, yeah? You understand? Look what Leachin I tell you. Remember Leachin the side of him, you know? Hear this. Want to listen this good.
Market prone to manipulation. Chairman of NCB Financial Group Michael Lee Chin is this evening calling for stiffer penalties for white-collar criminals. Mr. Lee Chin insists there are players caught.
Remember now, other man are skinny kids, this, you know. We are telling about what them are doing as skinny kids than 5 and 4. Listen, this man who was the richest man until them overthrew him. Them plan for him, them friend him up and plan for him up neck, Byron. The man have to run over that. Leeching a ball, you know, hear this, Byron.
Partly manipulating the stock market with impunity and insists the authorities need to address it or growth will continue to elude Jamaica. Speaking exclusively with CVM News, he claimed clandestine actors want to hoist him as head of NCB.
There are situations that are happening, that have been happening over the last 4 years, which was contrived to drive the share price down.
Like what?
Like what? Like people acting, bad players acting in the market to drive the share price down, so that would cause chaos with the bondholders, and then I would have to sell, right? And then they would be able to buy the stock cheap. In our market, because it is prone to manipulation.
So the stock market, what them are both about, and we have this. Better than was drugs money and everything through it. That's the what Leach I say, you know. He have the biggest thing the bank, you know. He have the chairman feet, hear this.
Because we have it's illiquid, so it doesn't take much to move the stock up.
People, liquid and money, you know, like them can't go and free money.
Cash, yes.
Cash, you know. You hear what I'm saying?
Or down.
You hear?
Prone to manipulation. Are you suggesting that there are players right now in the Jamaican market manipulating the stock market?
Well, look, NCB is trading at 50% of its book value. 50%. In other words, you can buy $1 for 50 cents. Okay? That's an aberration. And the aberration is not a coincidence. It is contrived.
You said that the idea is to get the price down by these surreptitious players and to get you to sell. Are you suggesting that there are people trying to oust you from your position?
100%. 100%.
Why?
Greed.
Leeching if you come out and a ball himself. Can you imagine poor people, man? The richest man now, Angie Brown, Angie now, them want to take him down and take him things. Voila.
And is that...
And this is part of what we have to address if we want to make Jamaica an investable country. People cannot act with impunity.
You think that...
That go to the government, you know, people. If we want to make Jamaica an investable country, people can't act in impunity. You see this? Straight to the government. You understand?
Meaning, 100%. We have to call a spade a spade.
Okay.
Because if we don't, we're just going to be fumbling around. We'll never have growth. We'll never have foreign investors coming in.
Let me stop that again. No, another Angel one is tell about the growth, none of blame the people. He leeching himself and said we will never have that. Me tell you, we don't have no growth. So big mama them that run out about Andrew and tell the people them this lie. No leeching, him should have goddamn shame himself. Because him should have come out for a long time. Him doesn't come out now. Two them a take away in place. But he must swap him, you know, because them don't want him to stay up on the top, you know, brother. You will say again, you never have growth. Byron, if the country are growing, that use that word, let me ask you again. Him couldn't use
right. There's no way you'd have used that in the country.
Okay, you will never have it. Can them not have it? Continue.
We have to call a spade a spade. Because if we don't, we're just going to be fumbling around. We'll never have growth. We'll never have foreign investors coming in and feeling comfortable.
What is the end game thing for those people who are acting?
Simple. Take over NCB. Cheap.
How does that make you feel given the years that you've put into building it?
Horrible. Horrible.
Listen, know how we feel a long time, we feel horrible. We never mash up the place. You was part of this. I show 5 and 4. Now you see this? And you have a government that's not stop it. Him do it to cause with them too, you know. Because when cause with them lose the thing, him just stand back and watch. You know, say enjoy destruction, brother. No care who pick up film, them get destroyed and dead. You know, see it? Continue.
Horrible. Okay. Because I'm thinking if it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody.
But at that yet, brother, the man come back to our CM, brother, we are talking about here on top of here, brother. Eh? No, it come happen to him, he must say it happen to anybody, but we are set happen to the poor and need a long time. When I step on them, you come with 5 and 4, brother. I want to convince the people say Andrew do good. And you see what them do in at the same time, them take away your bank. Them make sure you're not going on one of them board house there too. Them that make sure take it away and them feel horrible in also them for go to jail too, you know. Hear this.
And we need to deal with it.
What?
By doing what?
By making sure that the laws of the exchange are being respected, and consequences for manipulation are severe. Jail time.
Jail time. Leeching out that. Well, I didn't start preaching. Well, I didn't start preaching. Them no more. Jail time together. Leeching. We just tell me we have too much skinny kids. And then for come to Jamaica, no man say we not have no growth. And it can't stay, so the corruption, they matter about it, brother. Continue.
Do you think, as it is now, that's not happening sufficiently?
When was the last time we have had anybody charged with stop manipulation? When?
Hey, brother, immature. When the last time them charge? None of them not charge. None. Play it again.
Do you think, as it is now, that's not happening sufficiently?
When was the last time we've had anybody charged with stop manipulation? When?
How do you suggest that be fixed?
We just need to be a lot more, we need to build a society that's merit-based.
Merit-based. And you know have no merit, brother. Hey, Imamas, Pumbas have no merit neither. Neither tough tongue. None of them. Bug life neither, none of them. Sniffing, none of them. Fly, none of them. You hear this? Merit-based, you want to build a society now. Me think you have the idea for being 5 in 4, brother. And here I tell us the country run by door. Continue.
Not who you're born, your last name, or where they come from, Upper St. Andrew or Lower St. Andrew or Moko.
You seem like you're throwing words there, Mr. Leachin. Do you?
I'm not sure who live Upper St. Andrew. Beverly is Upper St. Andrew. You come from down at St. Andrew, you come from Moko that are like them call Moko like poor, you know. Him seem like him chewing word. I hear him not call no name. He must say it, you know.
From Upper St. Andrew or Lower St. Andrew or Moko.
You seem like you're throwing words there, Mr. Leachin. Do you mind? You want to call any names?
No, I'm not going to call names, Gio. But I'm just saying these are issues I'm putting squarely on the table that we as citizens have to be aware of and deal with.
Brother, this alone tell you the state of the place.
Hold on.
When?
I don't think, for many of us who are listening to that, I don't think they understand the implication of that. Because for me, as a critical thinker, listening to that,
yes,
right, I utilize, a wider view than just having a myopic analysis to what he said. Because I'm going to tell you something real. He said something which is very important. And I think a lot of people miss it. Hear what Leachin said. People cannot act with impunity. That may fly over a lot of people, Eddie. That statement is extremely serious.
Of course.
Now, and when I look on what Leachin said, because we are not stupid, in describing the administration of Andrew Holness, in saying that under Andrew Holness administration, there are systems allowed for individuals in respect of who he is making reference to act with impunity.
All right.
All right. Where did we see that before? Let me remind you something, Jamaican people. We are not drifting from the subject, but I'm going to give you a reference. Where did you see where someone act with impunity? Now, if you look at the situation with Patrick Bailey and the killing that took place in Patrick Bailey's house, and Patrick Bailey has not been interrogated by the system that Michael Leachin is describing. That people are acting with impunity, depending on who they're acquainted with, or who their surname is, and whether they want to live at Upper St. Andrew. So you see how close Leachin went in terms of calling the name. For us, he doesn't have to call the name because we understand the code. We run the code of the road. So we understand the code. You see what I say, Lonzo?
Of course.
Eh?
We hear him loud and clear, man.
Yeah, we hear him loud and clear. But hold on there. Also, what Leachin had described the failure with the DPP and the failure of the Commissioner of Police, the failure of the criminal justice system.
Sure.
People, just dissect what Leachin is saying.
Sure.
And let me tell you where he's identifying the failure within the DPP and the failure of the criminal. Some serious implications. You know. Hear what Leachin said. He said, consequence for manipulation must have serious jail time. When was the last time, him asked the question, when was the last time anyone charged for stock manipulation? When was the last time? The findings set up people under the Andrew Holness administration to override the criminal justice system. A whole lot of things he's saying. And then there's no justice. That is what he's saying. There's no justice. That is what he's saying. But you know the funniest thing, Lonesome, that I don't sorry for Michael Leachin. Let me tell you why. Seriously. I don't sorry for Michael Leachin. He's coming out now and trying to define them where he himself, right, was a party of the crime that they committed. He himself is a party of the crime that they committed. And let me say why. Why was Andrew Holness allowed to rinse $470 million through NCB as it relates to 3 of Andrew Holness shell company? Why was he allowed to do that? Why was he allowed to do that? Right? If you and I, Wayne, bring $1 million in Jamaica, we have to tell them where we get it. That's how you go. You have to break down this in small pieces, you know. If you and I, right, is going to lodge $1 million in Jamaica, as it relates to the banking law, you and I have to explain, give the source of that fund. So then I am asking, if Andrew Holness, look where I'm going, people. If Andrew Holness cannot explain his income, assets, and liability, how would Andrew Holness be able to explain that with NCB? Laundering $470 million in NCB in various accounts. How that happened? So what Michael Leachin is talking about, although he's revealing, I don't want to hear nothing from him. Because he is a facilitator. Right? And so then now, because he get pinched, serious pinch, he's coming out, speaking. Now he wants justice to be done when he is a facilitator. And here we go now. Michael Leachin, really and truly, cannot bring any form of charges against Andrew, you know, because again, he facilitated it. He facilitated it. So if he has to bring down Andrew Holness, he has to decide to bring down himself. Because who authorized Andrew Holness to take out $0 account in NCB? How did Andrew Holness do that? So if Michael Leachin did not facilitate that, well, Michael Leachin need to investigate this. Because something not right at your bank. And of course, Michael Leachin would have been aware as it relates to the Integrity Commission investigation report. So Michael Leachin can't say him no. He's not aware. He cannot say that he's oblivious. Right?
True.
Because that also was mentioned in Parliament. So then, I mean, what is it? So Michael Leachin coming out now and, you know, yes, using, you know, certain, you know what I mean, try to discreetly define Andrew Holness corruption or Andrew Holness administration corruption, right? We want to hear, we don't want to hear nothing from Michael Leachin. Michael Leachin is a facilitator. He's a facilitator. And so then what he needs to do, right? If he wants to serve Jamaica well, right? Reveal the wrong that he had done and Andrew Holness had done, and the two of them go serve time. What you say about that, man?
Yeah, man. What you say, brother, man?
Will you agree with me?
What you say, the two of them can go on. We not watching balling, you know, because I'm seeing one of the skinny kids and I tell me 5 in 4 and take a work. And only same thing that meaning that tell the people them lie. We don't go see Michael Leachin disappear.
Yes.
We never see him back. We not see him. We see him go sell yacht. We know to see him not trouble. Like I up and say him too powerful, we could take him down to, you know. You know, everybody will Andrew them power with. You know, cards with them. We call him Prince Andrew. See cards with them.
Yeah.
And
again, as I talk about that, SSL money also in NCB. So why Leachin coming out now? Why are you nothing for Leachin?
That is it. That is it, man. And him alone run out neither, you know. And him alone, I think, we did that one name Mahfoud.
Yeah, we will listen to Mahfoud. We will listen to Mahfoud.
We hear Mahfoud. But Mahfoud that's about Andrew. Remember this after the election, people. I remember the whole of them back Andrew, you know. I know the one of them about hear this. I know just Leachin, you know, Leachin about hear this.
Jamaican businessman and former president of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, the JMEA, John Mahfoud, is calling for significant job cuts in the public sector in order to move the country's growth agenda forward. He made the call in a media release early this week. With the JLP securing a third term in office amidst persistent low growth, the businessman says it cannot be business as usual. Mahiri Stewart tells us more.
The former JMEA president says the Jamaican economy cannot afford another 5 years of stagnation. According to Mr. Mahfoud, many Jamaicans still recall the much-touted JLP promise of 5 in 4. That's 5% GDP growth in 4 years, which never materialized. He says with a renewed mandate, it would be folly for the government to simply continue business as usual and expect a different result. Mr. Mahfoud says urgent action is needed. He outlined 9 measures he believes can jumpstart the economy. The first is reducing the cost of the public sector from 13% of GDP to 10% over the next 5 years. He says Jamaica's public sector wage bill has swelled after recent compensation reviews, which is crowding out resources that could otherwise fund development programs. It's for this very reason that Mr. Mahfoud says the government cannot afford to increase public sector wages at this time. He's also calling for lower interest rates to spur productive investment. Mr. Mahfoud says the present high-rate regime is strangling the productive sector. Only yesterday, the country's central bank held its key policy rate at 5.75%, but commercial banks have been slow to reduce their lending rates.
Released early this week.
I don't want to hear this. The commercial bank. But when John Mahfoud them come out and say it's the same thing, you know, release that and say, you know, you can't continue the same thing where you do. Because the country not go nothing. Yeah, that's serious too, you know, brother. You know, it's about them should have come out long time because them did with Andrew, you know. But it mashed them up too. The whole of them feeling it. All of them. Azan come out to Omar Azan, you know. Separate bars come out too, you know. I remember it's a group of company, you know, by that.
Yeah.
Yeah? It's a group of company. So when the one of them are come out now like this, especially Leachin was so powerful, him are the richest out of them. And but him a bad brother and want people to go to jail. Eh? And him said him teach you about the manipulation too, you know. That's serious, you know, people. That mean them stock market. When you that's why you see so much coke and when them have money for wash them, just wash it in it, you know, brother.
But again, you ask a question as it relates to the manipulation of the stock market. How did SSL get onto the stock market?
Manipulation.
That is a question that needs to be asked. How did SSL get onto the stock market not having a license?
That's like, that's your man, then that leeching no say. Well,
exactly.
You want to talk when it's sweet him.
Yeah.
No, them look when him say, yo, I get old and I could take this from him now. What are we benefit? Yeah? Like it's a thing but them can use and benefit off. Him say them drop the shares. Them manipulate the thing. And then the government have put in something to stop this. That's why he talk so strongly, you know, brother.
Yeah.
He talk strong about that.
But it speaks as it relates to the weakness in the system, and that is what he also identifying.
Yeah.
You understand? Because the system has no teeth in holding these culprits, you understand, accountable for anything. Right? So he's talking about the inaction of the criminal justice system as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Let me play this, but I want to play this. I'll show you Andrew Holness. Andrew, we have to do this because we have around 15 minutes, but we have to put two things in this. Very important. I'm going to put you here so tell about the road in St. Thomas because I want to show a picture in St. Thomas in the people. Yeah. Let me play this.
First table, the government allocated close to $4 billion to deal with urgent and emergency repairs of roads.
So the system can allocate money and deal with urgency and do all kind of things though. You see it?
Okay.
All right.
This will not be enough. But we hear the cries of the people in the rural communities who feel that their roadways have been neglected. You know me already. I am not one to pretty up things. I'm going to tell you as it is.
Oh my God.
Jamaica has more roads per square mile than most other countries. At one time, we were number 2 in the world. We are about number 4 or 5 now.
No, lie that.
We have a whole heap of roads. And everyone expects that the road must be asphalted to a certain condition.
You know though? When I'm doing does attack everybody. You're the government. When you're in opposition and something not fix it, come out to talk about it. But you hear that though, my man?
Yes.
People for watching. Hear this.
Let me bring to your attention that the number of roads that we have, maybe only 10% of them have been maintained from the time that they were constructed to standards that would allow them to stand up to the challenge.
You're not putting yourself here attack them crosses and get them foolish saying about Get the Prime Minister for Christ's sake. That's why you get the job. When you talk about how much years and I go back, and most of the time when I talk, I be a garbage. Because we have the facts on here, you know. Yeah, that's why I have a fact checking.
Pure garbage, my brother.
Yes, man. Continue.
Traffic that they take. What does that mean? The roads in your communities, many of them were constructed 50 years ago.
You see the argument when you use and treat the people them all the while, brother. Yeah, the Prime Minister say you do better, you tell them to 50 years ago or 100 years ago. You know, people are dead for that.
No maintenance was done to them, maybe a little patching. But everybody now wants at one time that the government must find the resources to fix all these roads. It's not possible.
Them tell us it's not possible to do, you know.
The government cannot find the resources because they stole the money.
All right, brother.
So many ministries, right, cannot account for their funds.
You see it? All right. Hear this now.
And by the way, while I was preparing for this speech, I came across a budget presentation of a former Prime Minister.
So people, you could not prepare a fast speech. Me a day actually prepare, me sit down and write my speech. Or you came across a budget, let me a search line. And you gone back 30 years and listen what former Prime Minister say. You hear me now? He might prepare a speech. Me not tell us a bamboo is the man that trick him and trick the people, them brother. Because if you have prepare a speech, you have prepare a true speech to the condition we are dealing with right now. Not for looking at the past and go listen to Prime Minister. You have prepare a speech. You see, start tricking about the people, then, brother.
Long time.
Your speech, you prepare it now. Come talk to people, them, talk to them in truth. Yeah? Not for prepare a speech or for something else. Continue.
In 1994.
Yeah.
And you know what? He was making the same point about roads.
Yeah.
This is not a problem that emerged overnight, but people want to take it and turn it into a political problem.
You see reverse psychology again. Yeah. Garbage. Continue.
Don't turn our roadways into a political football.
So the guy will take even everything and turn a football, you know. Even bad gas, even this, all kind of thing and take turn a football, right?
We will make the allocations in this budget and in the budget to come to make repairs and improvements to local and secondary roads as far as we can. But you will also notice that we are making the investments in the highways.
Yes.
St. Thomas in the east.
People take note. Please take note. Take note.
A parish that spawned our self-government.
Lie, you know.
Well,
we never have no self-government up there, yeah? Lie.
Back self-government, but gave it back after a while.
Yeah, there.
But St. Thomas, the rebellion.
The rebellion never take up on self-government. The governor crucify the two man them. Because they want some better thing for the people, them and everything, so them crucify them. Then deal with them case. So we never take no government from nobody. Never have no self-government. Yeah.
May the colonial masters then start to pay attention to the conditions in Jamaica.
It is.
And from then, St. Thomas was treated like the forgotten parish.
Like I tell you, I be a garbage man talking. Continue.
I remember in 2016 having a Prosperity Live meeting in St. Thomas, and a young man stood up in the meeting and said, Prime Minister, I'm paraphrasing him now, we want to feel like we're in the modernity now, like we are a part of modern times. We don't have no Kentucky, and we don't have no stoplight.
And that the other day turning a woman, you know, get up and say it. If a man get up and say it, you know, say, man, I'm saying, remember the woman good. No, this it come from him same mouth, but this man dangerous, brother. This man dangerous.
That was his perspective of being in modern times. Of course, we understand what he was trying to communicate. We have made the investment.
It's no people.
Not just to put blacktop on a mall surface.
Yes.
We are building roads that can withstand these strange weather events of climate change.
Yes.
We are building roads that have water mains running under them. We are building roads with fiber optic capabilities in them. We are building roads that have drains in them. And we are not just building roads to nowhere. We are building town centers that can become the economic center of activity.
All right, so I'm going to move this because at the same time, I don't move the artist. Don't move that. But I'm going to play this. Don't move. I'm going to play this. Sure, 2 minutes, 6 minutes, I call it back here. But I'm going to play this. And everyone listen to people, I said to myself, look what the trucker come people. No, Byron, this is the highway where them does build. You see, some people for the pandemic and a drive. If you look good, you see a beer owner, you see the one of this smash up. Look where you see a trucker come every night up on the same road, the same side where everybody a drive pan. The other side can't drive pan, you're saying about one. That's what the world would say, you know. Brand new road we're supposed to serve over 100 years, you know, people. Yeah, look here. Look how passing around, look. You see where them pan? The other side of the left, that's up now. Okay. Not highway, man. So we're turning, you know. No line in the road, you know. In a pound one and we're supposed to go one way now, Byron. Eh? It's the same St. Thomas Road. This is just the other day again, you know.
Yeah.
The brand new highway. Everything of your drive from one hand. The other hand no good. Then you go out, so when you look the one of that tear off as the quinted sink. And you know, hear them talk no, it was the best road, you know. The man do more than one thing. I tell you, said that's the best road that I served for 100 years. Now wait, you know, and the amount of money them spend, you know, some pay nepotism and cronyism them go with. That's how the country stays.
Well, do we have any bureaucracy that works on those programs?
You see it?
Yeah.
Don't make them tell about the bureaucracy around here.
Exactly.
But we still have 4 minutes to close off, so make you run through it now.
Yeah. Well, basically what we want to say to Jamaica is it relates to the bureaucracy argument that Andrew Holness is flaunting, right? That is only deflection, right? The real thing that we need to look into is, and we ask the question, where is the money as it relates to $3 trillion unaccounted for? And so then using bureaucracy in explaining as to the reason why roads are not fixed, right? Bridges are not fixed. No, it is not. The fault for that is not have to do with any bureaucracy, right? The fact of the matter why we have so many projects not being sorted out simply because of the thievery, right? The treasury has been robbed through nepotism, cronyism, right? Most of the programs, as it relates to billions of dollars, right, being robbed from our treasury, end up in budget overruns, right? And where billions of dollars cannot be explained. Ministries, several ministries, right, appropriation account have not been updated. Just look at that, right? So then for him to seems like, okay, he want to swing around and he want to PR him way. Him can't PR him way out of it. Because the Auditor General is saying to Jamaica, regardless of what you are hearing in Jamaica, as it relates to Andrew Holness PR and all the explanation that Andrew Holness have, Jamaican people focus the office of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister office cannot explain where is $12.8 billion. Think of what the Auditor General is saying. Don't bother hear him as it relates to bureaucracy and blah, blah. It is the bureaucracy why you are not seeing the roads being fixed. The bureaucracy that you are seeing being there, why there's no bridges and this and that. And the bureaucracy has been there, why you don't have no STEM programs, STEM schools and STEAM programs and all of that. All of that is garbage. All of that is because they rob the money. They rob it. There's no money there to do these things. So what he's depending on is promise, and he believes that you are that fool that he can utilize his promise here in and here out. It is as plain and simple as that. He believes that the majority of the Jamaicans who he is talking to, they are so gullible, right? Him just need to tell himself, he just open the mouth and let him pour down the poison in it. So that basically what he's doing. So now using bureaucracy and telling people that bureaucracy is the stumbling block right? And so then he has to want to create now NARA. We already know that, okay, all right, NARA is going to be kicked down out of court. Him know all of that. But you want to say, okay, all right, let us string it off now so we can blame the PNP. We can blame the PNP because the PNP did not allow NARA to be executed. And you're going to hear him. If NARA was executed, then we could have achieved in building out the projects and building out that. So PNP is to be blamed and then get off of the hook with all of the criminal money when steal. This is how wicked and vindictive this man is. Right? Because he knows very well that, of course, NARA is going to be fought in court. And he know that, you understand, that is going to leak out. But it's the process and the time where that is going to be used. So him have a lot of time to live on the lie. You have to understand how it work. And with all of the lie living now, this is where we want to ease it now. Ease him lie, ease him trickery. To say, okay, all right, we have a get-out card out of this. We have a get-away card. People, hear the get-away card. This is what he's saying to his criminal empire. We have a get-out card because, look, they are going to fight NARA. And we know, say, all right, NARA is not going to survive in the court. So here what happened now. We are going to use this as our PR to get out. Because we are going to say that, okay, it is the PNP, you understand, who stopped NARA. And to the fact that NARA stopped, because Big Mama, they shaped the narrative already in the people. I am telling you, Big Mama, they shaped the narrative already, you know. Speaking about NARA, you know. And if the NARA come through, the Prime Minister have to fulfill. Because they know that the Prime Minister can't fulfill it. They know say that Big Mama and Charles Davis and all of them already planned the narrative, already planned the PR. And let me tell you something now. You are going to hear that, you're going to hear Charles Davis and you're going to hear Big Mama. Why are they blaming the Prime Minister? Isn't that the Prime Minister used NARA, try to use NARA and try to fix the situation as it relates to the bureaucracy? And so then the bureaucracy is a stumbling block because the bureaucracy, right, is what in the way in terms of long procurement processes and so forth. And here it is. But who are you going to be blaming people? Because the NARA was, the Prime Minister came up with a brilliant idea. You're going to hear how Charles Davis said it. When you look at the idea that the Prime Minister came up with the NARA, right, and what NARA would have done, but the PNP render it, right, not possible. And so then, what the Prime Minister need to do, the Prime Minister cannot do anything. Because the program that the Prime Minister orchestrated, right, to fix, right, some of the programs and roll on some of the big projects that have now been prevented by the PNP. And you see Jamaica, the nasty politics that the PNP bring in. People, listen to me. People go say, boy, Mr. Sensation. You realize everything what you say. It happen. You go and hear Charles Davis over there. Right? And Big Mama, you go and hear the whole of them are spinning. Right? And so then you have people in Jamaica like the PNP. Right? What are they going to do now? Blame the PNP. What are you blaming the JP for? Right? They hit down NARA. All of them shit here you go here. You understand what we say? Jamaica people, we round us so in this space, we understand them and we decode them. You understand? And that is my take for tonight. Bless up.
And then, brother, as I said before, NARA, you know, never moving on. If them have a super ministry and it fail, them have the best set of people them from the PSOJ, including Louis Leachin and now all them about too. So when them all come with an next secret agency now, I say them do what? Remember, another man had the money to do all kind of things, you know, Andrew Holness, you know, and them get the money, you know, without the red tape. So them can't come with them foolishness. What Andrew do is rename every time him fail, and brother, him just rebrand something and come with it. You remember when him do with Edmund Rich, when him do Edmund Rich, him just say Operation Pride, no name Operation Shame.
Yes.
And little wind blow, when we look at cardboard, do what I inside the cardboard, the people them lose their money. So we don't have time for them, brother. We're done with them.
All right.
We are running up. Can you know?
All right, bless up yourself, my brother.
All right, people. We out here later. We
All
out.
right, cool.
Bless up.